Sorry, Kent, did you say you were good to go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very, very simply, last time we left off, you guys had stumbled upon a veritable fortune of perfectly preserved dwarven and underground ale, under dark ale. You split up and arranged with Yek the Tall, the human in disguise, as you learned, head of the Goblin Bazaar, to arrange for transport of this ale up to the tavern above that you own, the Trollskull Manor. While you were split up, Julie and Dreloff were getting drunk together on some of the ale, where they were ambushed by some owlbears that had been teleported in by Hallister Blackcloak. They managed to defeat them, and they fell asleep drunk. While you guys were waiting for a runner that had been dispatched to get them in order to meet up as part of the deal, you found that the runner had been taken out by what you found out to be a goblin assassin, which had nearly taken Kay straight out, but you managed to dispatch him. You guys eventually met up together, Treverin, after having a dream about your past and the very first spell you had ever cast, and your mother's reaction to it, which you did not remember. When you guys met up, you made your way towards where you were instructed was the second of the two Xanathar Guild hideouts on this sector, which was manned by a gang run over by a drow that seemed to have very drider-like, spider-like capabilities, including the ability to walk on walls, 8 arachnid eyes, and spindly spider-like legs. You dispatched the entirety of that gang handily, got their stuff, and that's more or less where we left off. What would you guys like to do?
Find my character on the map.
See him?
Yeah, Treverin would like to find a place for a short rest at least.
I can agree to that.
I second that. Third that, whatever.
I'm gonna walk up here and see if there's anything I can see around this corner.
Okay.
Well, comrades, if we're in need of a rest, why don't we cut that guy's head off and take it back to the tall goblin guy? And there's a safe spot. That was the deal you guys made, right?
Singe, for what it's worth, there's where the chest is that the silver key goes into. There's also a couple of barrels that surround a table, and right now there's nothing of value there.
Okay. I will inform the group that there's a thing up here that's locked and come and get it, and you know.
Yeah, we got it. What's down here, Kill?
That was where the bugbears were sleeping. There's some
Okay.
dusty
Looks like a good resting. Looks like a good resting spot to me. This place looks a little isolated.
Minus the one bed that still has a dead bugbear in it. Smashed face and abused sack.
Yeah, that's true. There is one mat on the floor, on the dusty floor, that is half covered in goo and smashed bugbear face. Courtesy of Vigo.
Chaotic psycho.
So if y'all want to head back to the bazaar first and then rest there, that's fine. But
we could take a long rest in the bazaar.
Oh, god damn it.
It's fine too.
Let's go back to where the beer was.
I'm gonna veto that one for now.
I say let's go back and turn the heading because then we get the discounted transport.
No, Julie will go with the flow. He's still a little buzzed.
Attaboy.
Sorry, I'm back. My mom was being.
Tell her to stand up.
Dude, she's only, what, 5 foot when she stands?
I'm nudging Vigo to go ahead and start heading back to the bazaar.
Well, I'd like to suggest somebody with a blade cut that spider head off and take it with us.
Yeah, Julie. All right, go ahead if you want.
So I'll grab him by the hair and just turn my longsword in and then. Whoop.
The head's a little off-putting considering the 8 arachnid eyes that make it up, but it chops off like any other head.
Yeah, I've seen worse. All right, and let's take a stroll back then, I suppose.
Alrighty. Let me know if the map's not revealing for you guys as you drag along.
Jesus.
Or if it's lagging out like mad for you. One or the other.
Lagging out mad for me.
I don't remember where the bazaar is. Oh, there's the bazaar.
I am at the
Yeah, in that
bazaar.
direction. For what it's worth, the game runs a little better on Firefox, I've found. I'll just start dragging you guys over there. I don't know if it'll reveal the map as I do this, but...
Say, every time someone moves, it lags out the entire thing, because we all share lighting. So.
Is it to the point where it's unplayable for somebody? If it is, I'll have to just turn Advanced Fog of War back off.
That's fine for me.
I can barely scroll the map across the bottom either.
So you can't even interact with the map at all then?
Nope.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to turn it back off then. So until they fix that, we're just gonna have to run with this as is. When I'm gonna set it up for level 3 to where instead of dynamic lighting, I'll just reveal it the old-fashioned way. But for the rest of level 2, we'll just stick with the regular old dynamic lighting. So just because it'd be too much of a hassle to fix it for this level now. Anyway, make your way back to Yak the Tall. He awaits news of the delivery of the head. When you present it, he barfs a little bit. The other goblins in the bazaar kind of turn their head. They're not excited about the prospect of seeing such a creepy head, but Yek is all the more happy that the Xanathar Guild has been dealt with on this level, and him and his bazaar more or less has free reign over this level. So he puts forward again that you do get the discount at the bazaar for this, which in your guys' case basically means you buy everything at value within the player's handbook. And he will arrange for some of his goblins and his bugbears and his entourage to work on delivering the ale that you had found up to the Trollskull Manor in exchange for a 2,250 gold fee.
I'm okay with it. You guys are okay with it. That
I
stuff
look
sells
at
for a lot
Kay
more than
and
that.
Do we even
I'll
have
say-
that much?
I've got 3,000 gold on me and 4 platinum. I can pay it if y'all need me to.
Yeah, I don't. I certainly don't have that kind of money.
I'll pay it.
What did you do with all your gold?
I bought my magic armor.
Okay. Well, once the fee is paid, the agreement is set. And he tells you that it'll take the better part of about 2 months to get everything up there based on what you've told him. And to, get security and everything set. But with the Xanathar Guild out of the way, he expects that the trouble of escorting at least the majority of it up there should not be too much of a bother.
I approach Yak and say, understand you have a place we could rest up?
He will have one of the goblins direct you to a small inn. Now, the inn that he highlights is little more than a couple of mats on the floor, and there's a sign that in Goblin is written "Gibbets and Grady," and it's not on the map here because that's just something I'm adding as part of the bazaar.
That's fine. I nod and give him a wink, and then I go into the inn to rest.
How much
Okay.
gold am I taking in my inventory? 2,500.
2250.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hunker down in that tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, anywhere for Julie to get a drink while he's resting? To the
There,
tavern?
yeah, it's not in the map because they don't have it here, but I'm adding it as part of the bazaar, like I said. So you're escorted to that bazaar, to that location. It's kind of shabby for an inn because it's run by goblins. They do have something akin to ale. They call it. They just I don't know what they call it. Goblin crap. It can get you drunk if you drink enough of it, but it's really really poor quality alcohol.
Yeah, I'll just take a glass of milk, thanks.
They don't have milk down here.
Not any kind of milk you'd want to drink.
No.
Gross.
It's not a homely place by any means. They have what looks like maybe some rat that had been carved up and skewered, mixed in with what looks to be some underdark mushrooms that make some sort of stew, and that seems to be the bulk of what it is they're selling. As far as any sort of drink goes, they have some foul-looking water that it looks like they're drinking and getting along with themselves. You don't know the quality of it. It doesn't look especially healthy. What do you guys do?
Rest.
Yeah, I'm
Sit rest.
Okay.
sitting my ass down. I'm sleeping.
All right. You find a good corner. There is no definitive inn or no definitive rooms within what is being described as the inn. It's really just a big common room, and as far as resting goes, you just kind of find a corner of the room, maybe a dusty mat somewhere, and just hunker down and rest. And although there are mostly goblins and bugbears in here, you do see there's the occasional human in here as well as a dwarf. So, okay, you just find a corner of the room and hunker down to rest.
Yes, sir.
What about the rest of you?
Same.
Same
Doing
thing.
the same.
All right.
Same.
All right. So you all just kind of find a different corner of the room, hunker down, and you all just fall asleep together. Is there anything else any of the rest of you are doing? Keeping watch on the rest of the place or anything?
Do any of you magic users have the ability to detect magical items?
I do actually.
Would you like to peruse?
Oh, I lied. No, I didn't pick that up. I picked up Dispel Magic. That's what I got.
Mhm.
I thought this was going to be a horn of Gondor joke.
Well, I will take. I'll just sit there and watch over everybody.
I picked up Dispel Magic because the last time we had my character come in, he got cursed to be red, and I didn't have a way to make him unred, so I'll let that happen again.
Okay. So, Vigo, you're kind of keeping up for a little while just to kind of keep watch on things?
Yeah.
Okay. And the rest of you are just going to sleep or anything else?
I'm going the hell to
I'm
bed. I got
already in
stabbed way too
trance.
bad.
I'm sorry, Treverin, I didn't catch that last bit.
I said I'm already in trance. I didn't even
Okay.
really wait for anyone else to say anything. I just went and sat down.
Okay. Sin, you doing anything or just going to bed?
Praying and going to sleep.
Okay. So, I will run under the auspices that Vigo, you're kind of keeping an eye on the rest of the party while they take the time to rest. So as you're kind of keeping an eye on things, it's kind of a noisy place here. Very, very simple, rustic. While you're kind of keeping an eye on things, you do note that walking in through the door, you see what looks like a dark elf with long white hair and black leather armor that has been finely decorated. And watching from just outside, you see two other dark elves that are dressed in blackened plate armor, wielding swords. And he kind of looks around um, the inn very, very briefly, and then his eyes kind of fixate on your compatriots. And then he looks at you, and he raises up a finger to you and beckons you just outside the inn doors.
I'll go to stand by him, but not outside. Still in the room.
Okay.
What do you want, traveler?
As you make your way to him, go ahead and just make a perception check. As you're kind of looking around, you note that more than a few of the goblins are kind of keeping a close eye on him and on you and your party. You have suddenly kind of gained the attention of the goblins in here. You are already in a novel. There's not too many humanoids that wander in here, though it's not unusual. Dark elves are different. It's like they never wander up here based on the reactions you're seeing from some of the surrounding folks here. And the bugbears seem to be a little on edge. You can catch one or two of them have their hands on their hilts as if they're getting ready for a fight. As you approach him and ask him that question, he says, "Don't worry, I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with you, though I'm familiar with your companions. What is your name?"
Jeff. My name is Jeff.
Jeff. Interesting name. Well, so we're not hiding anything from anyone else. My name's Isn't. And I'm hoping you might be able to help me with a favor.
God damn it!
I still knew it was him.
So did I!
The gift that keeps on giving.
I understand that you guys have become selected contestants in the Mad Mages game down here. You see, I understand that you guys are beginning to make your way down to the next level here pretty soon. There's a drow enclave down there that is run by a particularly nasty house. The house is House Aaron Vindo, and the priestess is an especially nasty bitch. I'm willing to help you guys out. I have connections. He reaches into his bag and he shows very, very briefly the hint of what looks like a very, very well crafted great axe. It is jeweled, and looks like it could cut the head off of anything like butter. But he doesn't pull it out. He's cautious of the eyes that are already on him. And he whispers and says, "If you guys would be willing to take the head of this priestess and give it to me personally, I'd be willing to part with a magic item or two that might help you in your little quest."
It's a mighty enticing offer you have there. How do you know that our quest has anything to do with playing this game?
He smiles and says, "Oh, don't you know? You're being broadcast through the minds and images of just about everyone across reality, especially those of us who are wandering through Undermount. I'm afraid you've caught the Mad Mage's attention, and the Mad Mage has a habit of making fun of those who wander in that he finds promising.
Well, I am not the mouthpiece for my companions. Let me stand right here. I'll wake them and you can...
No, that's necessary. I'm afraid that would only cause trouble. And he kind of points just over your shoulder, and you watch as two goblin bugbears have their hands fully over their hilts and are quickly glaring in your direction as you kind of slowly glance over your shoulder. You can barely catch the hint of it before they cautiously look away, and they're still kind of keeping a close eye on you. And Izan turns back to you and says, I don't want to cause a scene more than I already have. If anything, I'll give you some time to consider it. Talk it over with them after they've had a good rest. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small stone. And carved into the stone, you see what looks like an ear. And he hands it to you and he says, if you get a hold head, just pull out the stone and whisper within the stone the name Nazini. If you whisper that into the stone, I'll know you have the head. Listen closely through the stone, and I'll provide you directions on where you can deliver it.
I don't know. I'm not getting a good feeling about you. I've never met you before. Yet
This is only an offer, friend, and he begins to step back. It is up to you to decide whether you want to take it. I'm afraid I'm out of time. Consider my offer, please. And he finishes that last one with a bit of insistence, and he turns to leave, and his two drow guards follow him out of the inn.
I go over to Singe.
Who is sleeping soundly.
I nudge his foot. Singe.
Dwarf fingers.
He mutters in his sleep.
No. Singe.
Eh.
Kick his foot.
I wake up.
We've had a visitor that I just talked to that says he knows you guys, but was very wary about actually speaking to you when you awoke. Does the name Isn't mean anything to you?
It wouldn't to you, Singe.
Actually, it would a little bit to me, because that's where I first met these folks.
You did, but I don't know if you would have ever caught his name.
No, but I would say I would recommend waking up our sorcerer, and he may know more. And I'll be like, look, I really need some sleep.
Okay. And the sorcerer is... Oh.
Who is muted in Discord. All right. So do you wake up Treverin then?
Yes, I'll go over and nudge the elf on the foot.
Okay. Treverin, you are focused enough in your trance that even the slightest nudge is enough to wake you quite wide awake.
Okay. Yep. So wait, what is it?
Just had a visitor that said he knew you, but was not willing to talk to you and the rest of your companions when you awoke. Dark elf by the name of Isn't.
That rat bastard. Where is he?
He and his companions have faded away.
And I stop even listening to anything he's saying. I start looking around for him.
He's nowhere to be seen.
When I said that he should talk to you guys, that's when he decided it was time to leave.
Well, what the hell did he want?
He says that on this next level, there is a drow house headed by or run by a priestess, and particularly nasty priestess, that he would like killed. He says that if we do this for him, he can part he's willing to part with some magical items or things that would be of use to us. And he showed me a very fancy looking battle axe, bejeweled, looked of good quality, but looks are usually not the best thing when it comes to weapons.
And I look at him and I say, well, he's kind of an odd sort. He's actually a compadre of my father's. He's not 100% trustworthy either.
Then I
but
flipped
if
the
he
I flipped
gave
the
us
rock.
an idea of what to expect on the third level, usually he's not one to lie. But I'm leery of these magical items that he may have acquired because he doesn't necessarily run around with the police, let's say.
I see. I tossed the rock to Travern. He gave me this as a way to communicate with him once we have secured the head. He said, speak a command
Wait.
word.
He's not even ballsy enough to even come down and help us?
Nope.
And
He
by the
said,
way,
"What?"
you would recognize Treverin. The stone he throws you is one of these.
Yeah, I got Vera's Ascending Stone.
I figured don't bother waiting for the identify spell. You guys will be adventurous enough to understand what this is. At least one of you would.
So he said to speak the command word once we had the head, and he would be able to find us. I'm wary that this is also a way that he can track us. Oh, he also said that this mad mage that we're going to visit has been broadcasting our adventures to anyone in the Underdark that has a mind that could understand.
Yeah,
So,
I kind of figured that with the wonderful audience applauding and announcements we get every once in a while that he wasn't doing that just for his own fun.
well,
So I take the stone and I also. So what was the activation word that he gave you?
the activation word is Nazini.
Quaint. Well, I'm not sure about giving him this head if we actually have to encounter this lady, but there probably is some investigation work we ought to do on the third floor if we get down there and find out what he's really after. Because if he's around, he will cross our paths eventually.
So the options of putting this behind us and not even worrying about this fool's errand is
100% not going to happen. We kind of ruined his day a few weeks back, but he escaped us. Like I said, he is a frenemy of my father's. And I kind of leave it at that. And I go back and sit back down and say, let me know, if you see him again, wake me immediately. And I go back down to my corner to finish my sleep.
Wake me up. Sorry. Okay.
I then go over and I wake the dungeon master up and decide to talk to him.
What would you like to say to the dungeon master?
No, I'm going to go back to my my chair, my perch, Overwatch, and just contemplate what happened.
Okay. While you're considering this, the rest of you take a nap. Eventually, some of you keeping watch.
And this time while I'm trans, since I know Isn't is in the area, in my focus trance, I want to try to focus on an image of Isn't and an image of my father to see if I can't make some type of communication channel, just for something to try.
While within the trance in the Shadowfell, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. So, within the focus of your trance, you try to conjure up these images and these memories of your father and Isn't in particular. And the interactions that you have had directly with Isn't, or really many other members of the Diamond Bears, has been mostly secondhand. Though you can conjure up a few memories of being a fairly small child sitting in the midst of a grand hall with a logo overlooking a big table, and your father and Isn't and other members arguing with one another about different artifacts. You were a kid, you don't remember much of the details there. But you remember that your father and Isn't did not get along very well. But they never were at each other's throats. And you try to focus as best as you can to see what you can do to conjure some sort of communication, some way of reaching out to those people through their memory, through those memories. And you don't get an immediate response. But an image comes to your mind. A memory does come to your mind. You see an image of your father and Isn't debating back and forth in the midst of the foyer of the Diamond Bears Guild Hall. While they're arguing about, you're trying to keep your distance, and the inquisitive person that you become, you're looking through some of the library belonging to the Archmage that's part of this guild. And you find a book, a dusty old tome, that is entitled Creatures and Environments of the Shadowville. And it looks like it's written by an author. As you're trying to gauge it, there's covered in dust. And you blow the dust off the tome. It says, as penned by the works and experiences of Obark. You begin to thumb through the pages, keeping it hidden from your father, and they're too busy arguing to pay much attention to you. But as you're thumbing through, reading about some of the quieter, secluded places, desperate to find, or at least conjure for yourself an image of something away from this needless pedantering, something about this book appeals to you. You're not entirely sure what, but you're loath to relinquish it. And while everyone else is distracted, you conceal it under your cloak and sneak out of the guild with your father with the book in tow. The last thing you see in that memory isn't throwing up his hands in frustration and wandering into the nearby kitchen to grab something. You see Will kind of shaking his head in disbelief, and you and your father walk out of the building. And the image fades, and you wake up.
Cool.
Really hoping the book would have been penned by Kantaris.
That's what I thought you were going to
I
say.
was waiting for it, man.
That was cool.
Penned by Obark. You wake up in the inn. It's a little bit quieter than it was when you went to bed, though you can still smell the faint smell of burnt rat permeating through what constitutes this inn. Each of you have gained the benefits of a long rest.
Dope.
Once you are awake and ready to go, what are you doing next?
Advance.
Say, is there anything else we should? Did we miss any spots we could take a further look at? I guess over here on this floor.
I will tell you right now, there are some things you have not explored.
As I wake up, Killy, I'm in spring now instead of summer. So.
Okay.
Well, we have completed the what's asked of us from this goblin leader, I say we move on to the next level and further into this ridiculous game and closer to everyone getting what they want.
I'd say, if we've done everything we need to do on this floor, third floor's probably not a bad time to hit.
And as we kind of get, gathered up, I let Kay and Droloff know who visited Vigo last night while we were resting. So
Okay,
they're fully
so
up to speed.
Okay, he shares the information regarding Isn't with the rest of you.
Isn't that the bastard who tried to stab us with Jarlaxle?
That would be correct.
So, I guess, do we do it?
Do we trust him?
Definitely don't trust the guy. I'm not saying that we don't do it, but I don't know if we necessarily go out of our way to make that until we understand what's going on the third floor a little better. I say, we're non-committal either direction. But that's just my recommendation.
How we know he really have powerful magic items? He showed you shiny axe.
He showed me a
Big
shiny
deal.
jeweled axe. Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. There was no representation of its qualities or verification of its magic ability.
I'll remind Julie, he runs around with some pretty powerful friends.
So do I. Big deal. Would you do deal with me?
Do you really want me to answer that here?
I was gonna say, do you want an answer for that?
And then Julie says, "That's my point." Julie is very self-aware.
I just smile at Julie and say, "All right, let's figure out what our next course of action is." And I just let Singe know that Isn't is a interesting individual we've encountered in our past, and some basic information that he may not be aware of to kind of bring up to speed and remind him he is the guy that we were encountering when he met us. So
I'm personally loath to insert myself in the middle of two other people's war. And we did it here, and the warlock, Kadlem. Anyway, he almost died because of it.
Just call me Kay. It's okay.
I have it written down, but I forgot how to pronounce it.
Kadlem.
Kay almost died because of it. And that was between goblins and some bandit tribe. Now he wants us to get in the middle of dark elf.
To be fair, Drow aren't good people to begin with.
And Kay getting close to death, that's pretty common for him. So, he's a warlock.
And I am packed with the
kind of just shrug. Anyway, we either go ahead and start on level 3, or we can see what else this wonderful level has to offer. Maybe Yak knows some other valuable treasure that we could loot before we head down to prepare ourselves.
We could definitely try. All I'm saying, though, is that if he's promising magical items, probably not a bad idea.
Yes, but, I've only been with you a short time. I see that everyone here is resplendent with magical items.
I have a singular magical item.
It is quite an exceptional magical item. As a matter of fact, you even have extras. You have magic items in bags that nobody is using. I don't know why you would want more. other than just for the pure greed of it.
Am I wearing a pair of magical boots? How about a pair of magical gloves? I don't think so. If everything I'm not wearing is magical, then I'm not wearing enough magical items.
I want to be Sky Mole Magic, baby.
I kind of chuckle. Kind of reminds me of a story my dad told me about a ranger friend of ours.
Well, if
Just kinda
magic
chuckle.
items are what you are looking for, then supposedly things get tougher and harder as we go lower. I would suspect that more powerful enemies have more powerful loot for you. Is that not enough reason for going lower?
I'll remind everybody, you might want to check in the bazaar, see if you can stock up on some healing potions.
Probably not a bad idea. I'm going to do that.
And I just kind of at this point just
Ooh,
go out the bazaar and see what I can find.
Side
Okay.
note, that is a good
So the bazaar is mostly scavenged goods from different rooms and dead adventurers. As far they offer the bulk of what you would find in a general adventurer's market. But as far as healing potions go, there is two that there is a goblin selling two of them, and you can buy both of them for 100 gold.
100 gold for a single healing
No,
potion?
100 gold for the both of them. 50
Oh,
gold for a single.
I can do that.
While they're doing that, I'm looking at the vendors since they've been killing, scavenging dead adventurers and stuff. Do any of them have like drow cloaks or anything that may have come from level 3 to
Go ahead and
maybe
perception
aid
check.
us?
I'm looking for. Is there a medicine kit? First aid kit, anything like that?
You can make a perception check too. See if you can spot one. Okay. So, looking around for drow cloaks and asking around about it, there's one goblin that has a handful of various cloaks that have been scavenged from across the halls. As far as what is or is not a drow cloak, the goblin will point one or two of them out at you. They're really, really torn up, and you would have no way of knowing whether they would belong to this house or not. When
Okay.
you're looking, while you're looking around for a medicine kit, you do Vigo. Let me ask you this: are you proficient in medicine or in what's that skill?
It's medicine. Medicine check.
It is medicine. Yeah, you're not
No,
proficient in medicine.
I am
You
not.
do see a goblin selling a healer's kit, and he's selling it for 5 gold.
But I'm proficient with, or familiar with dealing with battlefield injuries on the quick.
Okay. Looking around at it, it looks like you could stop something in a pinch. As far as what all it could or could not do outside of that, you're not sure.
All
But it
right.
looks like it'd be salvageable. So
How much is it? How much you asking for this?
5 gold.
Let's do it. And how do I put that on my?
I'll do it.
Oh,
There you go. Just deduct 5 gold. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Anybody else doing?
Nope. I think I'm ready to move on to wherever our adventure's going to take us.
Yep.
I wanted to get that bitch's head. That's just me.
Well, and I kind of just look at Kay and saying, just heed my warning if that's what you want to do. I'll go along with you.
All right. Where do you guys go?
I'm volunteering.
I'd say take us to the entrance of 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll drag you guys down there, and you can decide whether or not you're going to descend or explore from there. 2, 3, 4, 6. Oop.
Oh, I think we lost someone.
Hang on a sec.
Maybe not.
I'm still counting 6. So, you guys venture through the familiar paths to get to the entrance to level 3.
Just a quick aside, because I didn't happen to hear anybody mention it. Did you guys tell the guys where to take the ale and load it up to the first level and all that good stuff?
That was all situated, yeah.
Okay.
And Draloff paid him.
Okay.
Yeah, I paid.
So there is a door to the south that you haven't explored, and there is the entrance into the descent into level 3.
I'll peek in the room real quick.
Okay. Let's see if I can set up. Bear with me a second. La 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 la. Yeah, you guys make jokes. Give me like 5 seconds.
He's turning the street lamps on.
All right. So, peering inside, you see a long hallway. The walls in this hallway climb 15 feet upwards, and then they angle in. That creates a peaked 30-foot high ceiling. On the top of the upper walls, there are these red glowing crystals, similar to the long hallway to the north of you that had those 2 balustrae. You see that the lower walls are lined with carvings that depict dwarves pushing minecarts towards the west. However, many of these works have been defaced, and without getting a closer look, you don't know any other details.
You said orcs?
Dwarves.
Oh.
Dwarves. So, you peek in the doorway. What do you guys do?
Julie
I'm
will
down
go
to
in
this
if you guys don't.
I'll step in.
Okay. Kay, as you enter in and to get a closer look at some of the wall carvings, you can't help but note that some of the works, some of those carvings, there are these stony tentacles that kind of protrude from the walls. And as you enter in, those stony tentacles kind of wiggle a little bit as you enter in.
Disturbing.
Inte hallway.
Julie notes the tentacles and says, "Let's wait. Get everyone."
I'll wait.
Well, Singe, do we join them on this fool's adventure?
Oh, I'm always up for foolish adventures. This world and this place is new to me. Not so much my people, but that's why I came here.
Okay. As you make your way further down the hallway, more and more of those stony tentacles that are protruding from the carvings of the wall begin to kind of shake and shimmy a little bit, but they're not causing any harm. It's a bit disturbing, though.
I will stroll all the way down here.
Okay. There's a doorway to the south and a pair of double doors in front of you. The double doors themselves are 20 feet tall at the far end. Carved into the walls near the doors are armored dwarves with stony beards that flow outside of big helms that conceal their facial features. Excuse me.
I'm gonna check the door to the south first.
Okay. I'm just gonna open it right up.
Yep, I'm just gonna pop it open.
You peer inside and see a couple of things. There is a 20-foot high ceiling in this room that is supported by 4 pillars of white marble. Each of the white marble pillars are shaped like stoic female elves in flowing robes, with flowering branches clutched to their chests. The catarids faced inward, meaning that they're all facing the center here. Circling around in a counterclockwise fashion, you see a strange creature that looks like this. And he
Interesting.
moves in mechanical-like fashion. There's some mist that kind of chokes a little bit of this chamber, and you can hear the methodical sound of the metal of his feet striking the stone as he marches around. And he has these spindly limbs that are marching around these marble pillars in a counterclockwise fashion.
Guess I'll just stroll into the room. I'll see what he's all about. Hello there?
He stops his motion and looks at you, and he says, "Extinction is inevitable. Live it up while you can." And just kind of keeps marching.
Can I ask what this place is?
He says, "That's show business for you." And when he says that, it kind of sounds like the Mad Mage's voice, like he's trying to replicate the Mad Mage's voice as he kind of marches around, this time stopping as he gets close to Vigo.
Does he look threatening?
It doesn't look like he's actively threatening you.
Then I'll step aside and let him continue his circuit.
Check out this door over here. After Julie walks through and goes, "Ha ha, funny little square man."
Okay. Julie, you open the door. From this angle, it's a little hard to see anything.
Nothing jumps out at me as far as anything on the walls or.
Nope. You do see there are some wall carvings here. It looks like they may have depicted elves mounted an elk, but they have been near destroyed.
Step out.
Okay.
I assume I don't fall to my death.
No, but do make a stealth check for me. Okay. You cautiously step forward and you do hear the low growl of something in the other room. From where you are, you can't see anything, though.
I draw my blade and motion for the rest of the party to come on. Slowly, quietly make my way forward.
All right.
I pause at the edge of the wall and peek around.
You see, especially there. Well, that's one too many owlbears.
Suddenly, one poofs out of existence.
Tis a magical place, this dungeon of the madman.
It suddenly had one down. There was like, he's not supposed to be down there. You do see wandering around the room, clearly growling and sniffing around, are some very hungry-looking owlbears. And because you got a 10 with that stealth roll, but you were behind cover, I'm giving you enough of a bonus that they haven't noticed you yet.
Um,
We should.
how many do I see? 2?
At the moment, you see 2.
Julie turns to Vigo and kind of like nods excitedly, like yeah, you want to get him?
You get him, boy.
And I
Hmm.
push Julie down into the room.
Okay. Julie, go ahead and just make an athletics check. Draloff, you do so as well. And Julie, I'm going to say do it with disadvantage because it's not something you would be expecting.
Bah!
Julie, you feel the tiny hands of a dwarf on your ass.
1, Julie, not your type. 2, not the time.
Roll initiative.
Let's go.
I like how you said not the time, like, if it was any other moment, it'd be fine.
Well, I started with not your type.
All right. We begin the initiative with Vigo.
I look at Julie and I say, Ogre Man or Orc Man, fastball special. And then I hold my action.
Okay. Julie, you're up.
I pick up the halfling and chuck him at the owl bear.
All right. So, Vigo, I need you.
I'll move a little bit just to give myself a better. Oh my god!
Oh, shit.
All right. You charge forward a little bit, Vigo in hand. You stop a little bit. Oh, shit. You have. Yeah.
I throw him at the owl bear. This one here.
Okay. Just make an athletics check. Vigo, I need you to make an acrobatics check for me.
Yeah, the best part of this is if it goes wrong, he just threw him a snack.
Oh man!
2
The
criticals.
Owlbear catches him in his mouth.
Okay, Vigo, I assume you want to use that held action.
Yes.
All right, make an attack roll.
Can we
2,
make it
in
3?
fact. No, but I will make it 2.
No, I'm at 3 criticals.
Oh, huh.
Let's see. Yeah.
21 hits. All right. That hits real hard. Go ahead and make a second attack.
Well, I want to stay on top of this thing, so
Oh, okay.
I'm going to need to use one of them to grapple and stay on top of this damn beast.
Okay. So, Julie stops for a little bit, realizes, oh shit, we're surrounded a little bit. But he goes forward with the fastball special, chucking you on top of the owlbear. You kind of go sailing just over its head as it looks kind of confused up at you. And then you take your warhammer, smack it down hard, impaling him in the back and using it to hold yourself steady, mounting yourself on the top of this beast.
See, Kelly.
And you are
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
kind of hanging on for dear life as this creature suddenly roars in pain and frustration and surprise.
Okay.
See,
That's
Kelly,
it.
with those 2 crits, I'd have been like, you throw the halfling through the owlbear.
I was going to go with that. I was under the impression, okay, he's going to throw him through the owlbear. Literally, I was going to say, okay, you get 2 attacks in. You throw the halfling towards the owlbear with its mouth open wide agape in terror. It goes through the mouth, through the stomach, coming right out the ass, creating a perfect hole from mouth to ass. With a wide open split, you're covered in owlbear guts, but the owlbear is somehow still alive, very much in pain, and very much wanting to die.
Like the monkey scene from Bruce Almighty.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Sure.
Lord, yeah.
And you guys remember Ace Ventura: Call of the Wild? When he
Uh-huh.
hits under
Too hot in these rhinos.
Yep. But you said you wanted to mount on top of him, so
Yeah.
throw him on top. All
Go
right.
on home, little ass monkey.
Draloff, you're up.
If I counted right, I should get there.
Okay, you basically beat ass around the edge of the wall, doing your best not to get engaged with the owlbear that Vigo is mounted upon.
Yeah. Yeah, I counted that right. Alright, I'm gonna smack the one that's north of.
Alright, go for it.
Actually, I'm gonna rage first.
Alrighty.
Yeah, where the hell's my cauterizer?
20 hits. So does the crit. Alrighty. Okay. You smack hard as the creature roars back in frustration. You can watch as bits of blood begin to kind of dangle around one of its legs as you smack against it, and you are ready to go. The owlbears go next, seeing some food enter into their room. They will charge forward. I will add for those of you in here for what it is worth. You do see there are arranged around the edges of the room at least a dozen sarcophagi with the images of elves carved on top of them, but they have been reduced to rubble. So, the owlbears will charge forward. For sure, yeah. The one who has you mounted atop him, Vigo, it's going to try to throw you off. So I need you to make an athletics check to resist. He rolls a 7. Yeah, you hold on tightly. You're not going
Not
anywhere.
today, creature.
While he's trying to throw you off, the other owlbear basically tries to grapple you and pull you from his companion's back. So I need you to make another athletics check.
Does he grapple him with his mouth?
8. He tries to reach in with the mouth to try to grapple you in its beak, but as it reaches in, instead he just winds up poking his friend's beak, and his beak kind of gets stuck in the spot of his fur that you got your mace embedded into, and it creates this really weird kind of owlbear centipede scene for a couple of minutes. The owlbear that you're grappled to takes an extra 2 points of damage, because why not? This is funny. Okay, the other two owlbears against Draloff are going to attack you per usual. Multi-attack, beak claw. First attack, 16 is probably not going to hit you. I don't know. Yeah, it will. It is your armor class.
Yeah, it's
You
top.
you take 6 points. It gets reduced by half. And then a crit you for 17 reduced to 8. So the bugbear that you hit reaches back in at you. It cuts you a little bit around the chest, leaving a couple of nice looking things that'll turn into scars later, I'm sure. The second one comes in from your side trying to flank you. That one will miss. That one won't. You'll take 8 points from the claws as it cuts across your back. Julie, you see one coming up from behind you, realizing that, oh, there's a lot more bugbears in here. As it charges against you, that's a miss. That probably isn't. 16 reduced to 13 against you. Treverin, you're up next.
I am going to move to here. And seeing that
Pull out the gem. Make them all greedy.
A piece of beef jerky in this case.
Yeah, pull out a bone.
I just kind of laugh, saying, "Yeah, no, I got something better." And aiming at the one here.
The one that Vigo was mounted upon?
Yep.
Okay.
I am going to whip out and twin spell this.
Chromatic orb. Okay. So, you'll roll 2 separate attack rolls. I'm afraid 11's going to miss. So you can make a second attack roll against another owlbear.
Okay. And that'll be the one just north of him.
Okay. So go ahead and just make a second attack roll. That's terrible. Unfortunately, neither one of those is going to miss. It's going to hit you.
All right. And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement speed to move back into cover.
As someone who plays sorcerer outside of this, I know the pain. All right. You run in there, you fire off chromatic orb, they go pff, pff, chaotic energy spewing across the nearby walls, causing a little bit of rubble to kind of collapse. You're like, shit, and you duck back behind cover. Okay, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna whip out the great sword and I'm gonna charge beside Vigo's owlbear and hit this one.
Okay. You try to relieve draw off the flank.
Oops, I didn't mean to do advantage.
All right, I'll count the 16 and the 27. Both attacks will land. Alrighty. You cut hard into the limb of this creature. It roars back and turns its attention to you.
Oh,
You
shit.
certainly
Sorry.
caught it. Okay, you done?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Sid, you're now up.
I did not mean to click on that. I meant to click on the description. I just wanted to see what was going
Sure,
on.
that's
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Alrighty. Focus the attention on yourself. Yourself plus 2 to AC.
And I'm going to advance. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can get to the. There we go. I can get to here.
Okay. You charge forward, having imbued yourself with the blessing of your god.
Mhm.
You join up next to Julie against this owlbear.
Oh, that's a bonus action, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Shield of Faith
so-
is, yeah. You can
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
smack it.
I'm going to.
Alrighty. Let's see. 22 hits. Alright. You smack it on the beak. No. Bad, owlbear. Bad. No. It roars back at you. It's not potty trained.
I didn't
It
think
pees
so.
a little. All right, Vigo, you're up. You are mounted on the back of this owlbear, and it is thrashing.
Oh, it's time to deliver the justice and bring
You
my
shout this out
hammer.
loud.
Bring my hammer down upon its head.
Okay, I have to ask. Do you shout that out loud?
No, I do not.
Okay, just want to make sure.
5 more owlbears appear.
Receive Maxwell's silver hammer. Oh, that's not very good.
It does not receive Maxwell's silver hammer.
It does not. And then I'm assuming I have to use one of my actions to stay on, right?
No. You can if you choose to do so. I will grant you advantage on any athletics checks if it tries to throw you or somebody else tries to grapple you. I will say that much, but you don't have to use an action to try to hold on.
All right, then I will do another attack.
21 does hit. You slam down on top of the back of this creature as you're trying to hold yourself steady on its back. And you wound it. It clearly staggers for a little bit, nearly collapsing, but it holds itself steady and is desperately trying to thrash you off.
Okay, that's it.
All right, Julie, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to do the old hack and slash with greatsword.
Alrighty.
Oh, awful. Tell me that 15 hit.
15 hits. The 8 does not fail. Obviously, does not.
Awful. But that's all I'm doing. I'm good.
Alrighty. Let me just record that down real quick. There it goes. All right. You slap down, you get one connecting hit. You try to swing through with the other one, and the owlbear basically holds up its paw and blocks you like a big brother blocking a little brother. And it just looks back at you with a grin on its face. Drelloff, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna reckless attack the one to my north.
All right, go for it. 24 hits. All right, you cut down hard into the side of the creature. It looks like it's getting pretty hurt. Alrighty. Another 10 points coming its way. Yeah, it's looking like it's just about ready to keel over, but it ain't quite there yet.
Yeah.
Alrighty. They go next. The one that you just attacked, it looks like it's getting ready to keel over. Well, it's going to try to return the favor. 22 for 6 reduced to 3. And the claws are going to be a crit. That is 15 points coming your direction from that one.
Ouch.
Okay, the one whose attention you caught is going to unload into you. 15 is not going to beat your AC. Neither is that. It's still 15. All right. Vigo, the one that you are mounted on is going to try to throw you off. I need you to make that athletics check. It is 10.
I'm sorry. Why was he attacking with advantage?
because he reckless attacked. When you
Uh-huh.
recklessly attack, you give advantage on all your attacks as a barbarian, but you open yourself up to attacks with advantage against you.
So does that mean I'll have advantage when I attack him next?
Nope. It was Drelloff who reckless attack. He just linked the
Oh,
ability down
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yep. One of the key features of the barbarian. And one of the primary reasons why I don't use flanking in my games is because it makes stuff like that useless. At least not the flanking rules is written. Okay, so Vigo, unfortunately with that failed athletics check, the owlbear is going to thrash and throw you off of him. And it is going to throw you down. And after it throws you off, it's going to claw at you. And that is going to tie your AC, which means it does hit for 15 points.
Okay.
And while we're at it, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw to see if you land on your feet or on your ass. All right, you're on your feet. The other owlbear next to you, after you've been thrashed off, is going to unleash into you. 23 is going to hit you for 11 points. And the claw is going to hit you for another 11 points. These guys are mad. Finally, the one that Julie and Singe are both engaged with is going to attack. This one against Julie, because he's the one who hit it the most. After holding and blocking your blade, it is going to stab at you with its beak, missing. And the claw is missing. Treverin, you're up.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Finishing up a measurement here. Let me just check. Spring. Okay, I don't have to do it. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to first move to here. And I am going to phase step as my bonus action.
Okay.
Go third. Put me right in front of the owlbear.
Mm-hmm.
And then using a... if this is the right wall or not. And nope, that's the wrong one. It's 30 feet, so 35. There we go. Right like that. Or pretty much a line that doesn't hit K. I'm
Alrighty.
going to cast this. Level 2.
Agonizer Scorcher. Alrighty. 3 owlbears have made dex saves. 1, a 2, a 3. Alright, the 2 in the back fail to save, taking the full 15 points of fire. The 1 in the front does manage to save, so he will take half. So, as the scorching ray shoots from your tips of your hands, the one in front of you is caught off guard, but not so off guard, but he looks like he's been focused enough that he manages to block the brunt of it. The 2 behind, however, clearly did not see this coming, and in fact, the one that Draloff is actively engaged with has its fur catch on fire, which it tries to stop, drop, and roll, but is too badly injured to have the energy to stop it, and it just burns up.
It didn't roll.
It didn't roll.
It stopped and dropped.
Dropped.
It just stopped and dropped.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Okay, you're up.
That first one took half damage, right?
Yeah.
Whack.
All right. Which one are you whacking?
Same one I was fighting last time, the one over here.
Alrighty. Go. All right. Both of those attacks will land. So go ahead and roll damage.
I do anything for you?
It's enough that it kills it.
Whacked you here. I take it out by its paws.
All right.
It's now ground bear.
You cut off its paws. It tries to steady itself, but it kind of stumbles forward. You come through with the finish, taking out its other paws with the second strike, and it tries to kind of walk around stubbly, and it just kind of it's like a turtle that's fallen over on its shell. It falls over on its back, and its little stubbly hands, no longer claws, just kind of wave in the air, and it groans and moans and howls in frustration.
I kick it so it rolls.
All right, like a goddamn because why not? Like a goddamn Koopa shell in Mario, it just kind of bings around the room a little bit. Ping, 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 and then it just stops over there.
That's it. That's my turn.
All right, Sid, go up.
I'm not going to move out of the way, but I am going to like squeeze between the owlbear and my friend here, and I'm going to attack said owlbear.
Okay. "23 hits. All right, you smack it a little bit. It bonk it on the nose. It rears back a little bit, clearly frustrated by this, and now it's focused on you.
Okay. And as a bonus action, I will cast. Hold on.
Alrighty.
So everybody gets 5 hit points back. Boy, I rolled fucking low as shit on that.
Just gonna turn the spell description. My benefit. Okay, yeah, everybody gets 5 hit points back for what it is worth. Alrighty, you get the spell out, you focus and are ready against the owlbear, making sure to help stabilize some of your compatriots. Julie, you're up next.
You skip Vigo.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
did.
I think
Vigo.
that's right.
Yep, Vigo is still up.
I'm going to try to finish off that one that I was on top of.
Alright, go for it. Crit miss. 14 will hit. As you try to smack down on top of it with the hammer, it shifts out of the way and almost gets ready to strike you, but you manage to uppercut with the hammer through the follow through and manage to stagger it off before it gets its beak around your neck.
Bastard. I'm going to do action surge and attack again 2 more times.
Alrighty, 15 hits. 16 also hits. Alright. As it is staggered, you charge forward at it. Remembering your training and looking for the weak spots, you do manage to get under its jaw, dislocating it, and as it kind of falls and collapses, you get a finishing blow right over the top of its head.
That's my turn.
Alright, Julie, you're up. 2 left.
Julie's going to call upon the power of the Eye of Burning Blood and attack the owlbear.
Alright, go for it.
Groomsh, give me the power to defeat this awful smelling foe.
23 hits. Meanwhile, Group's just going, awful smelling.
I lean back over my shoulder and say, okay, I can't tell which one is smellier.
Does it live?
Okay.
After
It's
those
still
2 hits?
alive.
All right, I'm going
Yep.
to action surge and try to finish it off.
Alright, go for it. Alright, both of those will hit. Alright, certainly with the crit. That'll be enough that it does finish it off.
All right, and then I get, I'm going to take my move and use the extra attack I get for the
Great Weapon Master. Yep.
great weapon.
Another crit. Alright. You come through imbued by the blessing of or so you think. And come through and finish off one owlbear before getting a nasty hit on the last remaining.
Fucking
Drelloff.
Groomsh's boss, man. He's awesome.
Drelloff, you turn around, so focused on your rage, you see one remaining owlbear left standing.
Yeah. Eat this, you fuzzy bastard.
24 hits. I assume you're recklessing. So does 27. Alright, that is 15 and 14. That is not quite enough to kill him. afraid. But he is looking very, very. Alrighty. On his turn, he is going to look over in your direction, Draloff, and unleash on you. 18's going to hit you for 11 reduced to 5. And the claws are going to hit you for 16 reduced to 8. Treverin, you're up.
I really only have one option here, so you know what? I'm just gonna take my quarterstaff and smack it upside the head.
All right.
And miss.
12's not going to hit.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Aber.
Oh, I thought it was dead. I will hit it. Thunk thunk.
All right, roll your damage. That'll be enough to kill it, I'm sure. Yep. All right, now it's dead. So, finishing off the last of the owlbears. You're out of combat. And as you get a better look at the room, you can see the smashed elven sarcophagi scattered around this chamber. And there are wall carvings along the walls that depict what look like elves mounted upon elk, parading through forests as the seasons change around them. However, time and probably tampering has messed with the wall carvings themselves.
Well, I'm kind of curious what's going on down here. Is this like a different style than the rest of the dungeon we've been through?
This is the first time you've come across what looks like elven carvings of any kind. Up until now, it's been mostly dwarven.
I'm just wandering around.
I guess from what we know, what was Undermountain built upon? I know you've talked about it before.
From what you know, from what one of you did with a much earlier history check, it was originally the site of an ancient elven kingdom, followed by the site of a dwarven kingdom, followed by some rumors of ethereal ruins between the two of them, followed by whatever Hallister did to the area, followed by Waterdeep.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a guess and kind of say this is probably one of the elven sections then that was built upon.
Treverin, as you wander into that area, you can see there are 3 stone tables that are strewn about the room and are surrounded by what look like shards of ceramic, probably pottery.
You talking about Singe?
Yes.
Okay.
And there is a 10-foot wide hallway to the south that slopes gently upward.
There's another door back here, folks. Or another hallway back here. Is there anything else in this room that looks out of
Not aside from what I described.
Okay.
Not in that room.
You said this goes upward?
It slopes gently upward.
Julie will stay with Singe to watch his back.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going.
I'll travel down here.
I'm gonna say, you know, I'm familiar with elves. I came from Evermeet, and that's where me and my clan were living before I came here.
Dragonborn and elves living together, eh?
It's a long story that I don't know the whole meaning of. But, needless to say, the ruins there were not nearly as outdated as the ones here.
Singe,
Yes.
you step here, feel a pressure plate
Uh-huh.
underneath your feet shift,
Okay.
and you hear the sound of a heavy stone coming from an alcove buried in the far end of the hallway, and you see, as soon as I get something, You see a large stone pillar, Indiana Jones style, but it has been painted to look like a bloodshot eye, and it is heavy and rolling down in everyone's direction. I need those of you in the hallway, basically everybody except for Vigo and Dreloff, to roll initiative against
Oh.
this trap.
Shit.
And the initiative I have rolled for the stone is 20.
Huh. I didn't know a boulder could be so dexterous. Does that mean we all get crushed to death?
That's what I need to find out. So, it's going to move first. And so, yeah, it basically means it's going to roll over pretty much for all of you. So I need you guys to decide whether you're going to try to run away and dodge it, or whether you're going to try to stop it in its tracks, or what it is you're going to try to do to deal with this giant rolling bloodshot eye of a boulder.
I'm gonna yell at Julie to catch it.
Julie turns towards it and screams in rage and goes to just put his strength against it.
Okay, Sin, what about you?
I'm looking real fast.
Wait. You said it's a stone boulder?
Yep.
I have to ask. Could I break it with this? Oops.
You could if you rolled a higher initiative than it.
Damn. Okay.
I'm looking
Just-
real quickly at what my options are here.
Yep. Just keep in mind that part of the initiative roll was to see whether you guys had a chance to act in turn. Unfortunately, the boulder's going to roll too fast before you get an action or a bonus action out. So I'm allowing.
Oh, well then, it guess it's gonna roll over me then.
You can either okay, I'll tell you this. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me then.
Hold on. Well, I'm just saying, I'll make it, but if I can't really react to it other than what do you call it?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna roll right over you.
Say, well, can you get behind me as I try to?
I look
He
where
he
look,
he would have had to have rolled a higher initiative.
right. So it's rolling
So
over us regardless. Or
you're taking 69 points of bludgeoning damage, Singe.
okay.
So does the fact that Singe is acting like a speed bump give me advantage on my strength check?
But
Because
go
now,
ahead and make
now he can grab it by the bottom because it rolls over him and he's like.
All right. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
Can my eye of burning blood be used for this purpose to give me advantage?
I'm gonna say no because that's not what it's specifically designed.
All right. I accept the ruling of the DM. I would argue that it's precisely the type of thing that it was engineered to do, to give additional rage power to the actions of the user. But that's fine.
Rules are written. Sorry. I know it's
all
homebrew, but
dude, it's all good. Hold on. What am I doing here? Oh, athletics. Okay. Come on, baby. I'm trying to think of. Do I have anything that can give me advantage here? No, come on. This is a big roll. Shit, I don't think so. Remarkable athlete. Well, that already factors in my proficiency. Yeah, no, I think I'm shot. Okay, here we. Yay!
Julie, you take 56 points of damage and are knocked prone.
Oh boy.
Okay, you're up next.
So
-2.
what if I tried to put my shield plus a spell in between me and it?
You have a reaction, and that's it.
Yeah. What if I have a reactionary spell I can use plus my shield to put in front of me?
Shield is a reaction.
It is.
It's a barrier that increases your AC, and that's not going to help you in a thin hallway against a bolt.
Actually,
Well,
does,
it's an invisible barrier of magical force. It tries to protect me. So what if I tried to put my shield in front of me plus that and tried to just like stop the boulder with my arm?
You know what I'm picturing in my head? I'm picturing the shield going up, but the boulder hitting you so hard and fast, it literally knocks you to the back of the fucking cavern.
I'll tell you
Julian-
what. I'll tell you what. I'll allow you to use a shield, and it will give you a bonus to an athletics check if you're going to try to stop it. I'm not going to tell you what you need to make. I'm not going
Sure.
to tell you what the bonus is, but I will give you a bonus.
So just athletics check then.
Uh-huh.
this is
Not that
This
big
is-
a bonus.
this is bludgeoning damage.
This is bludgeoning damage. So
Okay,
you're
so
gonna take
I'm
56
actually-
reduced to 53.
Yeah, I'm actually still conscious. I got 1 hit point.
All right. Okay, 45 points your direction. Treverin,
I don't really. You said we have enough time for a reaction, right?
you have a reaction, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it anyway. So I'm gonna use that. Oh no, never mind. I guess it makes it
Yeah,
bonus.
it'd
Never
be a
mind. I
bonus
can't
action,
use that.
sorry.
Never mind. It's just
Dexter-
gonna roll over me. Then I don't have a reaction to use.
Dexterity saving throw for me, please.
All right.
You actually make the dex save.
Yay! Because it probably would have
With
killed me otherwise.
your thin, lithe body, you push yourself against the wall, suck in your chest, and get real close to the very, very edge of it, kind of ducking yourself in a corner. And surprise, surprise, the boulder rolls past you. You take no damage.
Excellent.
And as it rolls all the way down to the hall, it stops, sloping further down. And Vigo, while you're kind of looking and Droloff, while you're kind of looking around in this other area, and you hear this big stone kind of peering in, seeing what the hell is going on, the stone comes to rest in the middle of the chamber to your left.
What the
And-
hell?
Julie and Kay are badly injured and knocked on the floor. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Singe might actually be straight unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my bones hurt.
I will walk
actually-
up.
Let me ask you a question. What happens if you take me into the negatives? Because I'm basically minus 10 hit points.
You're not instantly killed unless the excess damage exceeds your maximum hit points. You're just knocked unconscious.
Okay. No, I was trying to think of something, but when you said it was only reaction, I was going to like say, well, could freedom of movement work? Could stone skin work? And I was like,
No.
I don't think any of this is
The-
going to work.
No, that was kind of the point of the initiative order, to see if you guys had enough time to do something in response to it other than just dodging out of the way. But it moved too quickly, and you were too slow.
I'm giving Singe 7 HP back.
Okay. So Singe, you open up your eyes on the stone floor, sloping down. The pressure plate's still down, by the way. And you look up at Kay, who has beads of some holy energy kind of dipping across his hands. It's not usual to see him with any sort of healing magic. That catches your eye. That's different.
You know, it'd be even funnier if that was only the first boulder.
You shut your fucking mouth.
Bum ba bum 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 ba bum.
I just
Yeah,
pictured
Julie-
though, like there's an indent from where me, Julie, and Singe were all still on the floor. It's just shaped holes in the floor from us.
Hearing that and seeing the hole that was made when the boulder came out, I cast mold earth on it to seal it up.
Yeah, Julie's gonna
Okay.
drag his sorry ass to the corner of the room where the boulder ended up, and he's taking a rest. I don't care if you want to or not. You can go on without him.
What the hell
Julie's-
happened to you?
Oh, big rock!
The immovable object and the unstoppable force met each other.
It went, "Roar," and I went, "Rah," and it went, and I went, "Oh."
I just picture Wile E. Coyote getting blasted by something, the Roadrunner. That's what I'm seeing here.
I'm gonna go back with Julie actually.
As I get up, I go, boulder!
I'm gonna take a short rest as well.
The same here.
Okay. While you guys have gone through all of that, Droloff, I can't help but note you had stayed in the prior room. Is there anything in that room in particular you were doing?
Making owlbear steaks.
While you're in that room, go ahead and just make a perception check for me.
I guess we need to go. He needs to go back in.
Okay, nothing else catches your eye.
Okay.
So Drelov comes stumbling into the other room with owlbear flanks heaped upon a plate, ready to cook. The rest of you kind of stumble in with maybe more than a few broken bones. This gigantic boulder now occupying the better part of this room in the middle of you.
Man, I tell you what, I wish my passive perception had picked up that fucking trap.
So we're taking a short rest.
Well, it saddens me to see you injured, but I would hate to say I told you so.
Alrighty. You guys kind of sitting around the campfire that I assume has started and have a quick lunch of owlbear steak. Now I'm getting hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. God damn it, Drelov.
I got perfectly back to max HP. I'll take it.
Nice.
I need to re-add
So the question I have now too is, did the boulder just roll over like the invisible barrier I made?
It basically all the barrier did was it it allowed the boulder to basically roll on top of you while you're trying to hold the barrier up, and it just pushed further and further in, as heavy as it was, to the point where it wasn't a barrier anymore.
Just shattered it and unpacked.
Pretty much.
I thought it was like maybe there's like a dome-shaped hole in the ground now from where it pushed me onto my ass and then it rolled over me.
Yeah, dome-shaped hole with your imprint.
Yep.
Your ass imprint.
Uh-huh. Alright. Once you guys are healed up and eaten up, where would you like to go?
Kelly, seeing that this boulder kind of rested itself in this room, is there anything unique about this room?
Make a perception check.
It seems kind of odd that boulder would just stop in the middle.
I'm just getting Dark Souls flashbacks from Sin's Fortress.
Nothing catches your eye out of the ordinary. As best as you can surmise, based on the sloping pattern of the hallway that led up, it probably just rolled its way in here to the point where there wasn't a slope anymore and came to a stop. The boulder itself is painted to look like a bloodshot eye.
But it didn't like crash into the wall and do any damage up here or anything?
Doesn't look like it did any damage.
Okay.
Based on what you can surmise, it may
Is
have impacted into the wall and then came to a rest.
Okay.
But you weren't down here to look at it.
Yeah, that's why I was looking to see if anything's changed in this room now that it's done whatever it's done.
Yep.
Stylistically, does it look like an Eye of Grooge?
It does not.
All right. Still, the association is a little unnerving for Julie.
Well, I'm a little timid to walk back down through the hallway.
We don't have to. There's nothing that actually told us there was, anything down there.
Well, at this point, I'm kind of wanting to go back down that hallway. Only because, why would you trap a hallway like that?
You can lead the way then.
I did last time.
That's what got us into this mess.
Let the angry midget go first.
I'm trying to figure out what my passive perception is.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Yours isn't higher than mine, and I didn't see that trap.
Tabaran, you see the area that had the boulder still having the earth melted in place to stop anything through.
Right. So
Julie
go
fearlessly
ahead and
strides
try
forward.
and approach up to
You
the
hear-
corner and see
you
if
hear the
anything
question-
happens.
You hear the pressure plate shift underneath of you, and you swear you can hear a boulder hit where you've closed the area.
Okay.
Julie wants to sprint and get around the corner as fast as he can.
Okay. You
I
sprint
yell at
quickly,
Singe, hurry
running
up.
around. You enter into a room, Vigo, and the rest of you charging forward. The room is 10 feet high. There are 6 slanted stone tables in here. Each table is fitted with rusty shackles and leather straps. On the lower end of each of the tables set into the floor, there is a shallow, circular stone basin.
So they're basically bloodletting tables.
Yes, Julie, you recognize it for what it is. That this is a chamber for bloodletting.
I motion K to move forward.
Any blood in the basins?
No, it is
Dried
clean.
blood? They haven't been recently used.
It does not. It actually, upon close examination, there's some hints of dried blood, but it looks like it's been tried to have been kept clean.
Julie goes to one of the basins and crouches down, cuts his hand, drips some blood into the basin.
Okay. The blood collects in the basin. Elsewise, nothing happens.
And
Alright.
Killy, while everyone's clear, I'm gonna go ahead and undo my mold earth to see what comes out and goes down the hallway.
You see the same boulder with the same blood-letting eye. I'm rolling right through.
Okay. All right.
Please mold that back. So someone doesn't hit the fucking pressure plate on their way back down.
If you insist.
Well, to be fair, it will have lost its momentum. It
Okay.
will be moving from a stopped position.
Vigo,
No,
as you may,
it's another one, right? It was
As
the
far as you
second
know.
boulder that went down.
as far as you know, Vigo,
Yeah.
you see in here there is the lid of what looks like a stone sarcophagus that rests in between 2 misshapen blocks of stone. That looks like it creates a very haphazard makeshift desk. Behind this haphazard makeshift desk, you see a high-backed chair that is made out of charred wood and has one of the armrests missing. Beyond the desk and the chair itself, you see niches in the southern wall that look like they may have once have held probably funeral urns. However, now it looks like there are dusty books that have been crammed into them. You also see funeral urns in some other niches closer to you, 17 in all.
All right.
Killy, I do
will
cast mold earth to block up that hole again.
Good to know.
go behind the desk and look in the on the shelving.
Okay.
The niches.
Are you looking at the books themselves, or the niches, or the urns, or?
Yeah, let's pull out the books.
Okay. You can see that the books contain a variety of subjects. There is the subject of alchemy. There's one about dwarven and elven history. Another one about engineering. Another one about gemcraft. Another one about the study of monsters. And, for good measure, a book about weather. Most of them are falling apart. But, as you're searching through them, you do see what looks like a badly burned wizard's spellbook. It still has a couple of spells that are legible in there. Not that you would know anything about.
Hey, Trav, I think this is for you. I put the spell book on the desk.
Okay. Treverin, although you're a studied person and you have dug your way into books, you can't cast spells from spell books because you're not a wizard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I look at it and say, "Yep,
you
looks like
do-
lots of good spells in here. They don't
You-
really do me a whole lot of good." And just
Yeah.
I'll put it in my backpack, I guess.
Okay.
Something
I'll
random.
say for what it's worth, some of the spells that are still legible in the book include Comprehend Languages, Crown of Madness, Dark Vision, Gaseous Form, Ray of Sickness, Remove Curse, Tensor's Floating Disc, and Unseen Servant.
Oh shit! I forgot to write that down. Hold on. I'm going to ask you to repeat all that too.
I'll just copy paste it into the chat.
Oh, that's great.
And are there any more, any other ways in and out of this room other than the one we came?
Not that you see.
Okay. Seems to be it. I guess we head back to the stairs leading to the third level, maybe?
Oh. anything? Well, seeing as I failed earlier to notice the trap, is there anything else in here?
Not there. There is the urns along some of the other niches, most of which are cracked. There is that makeshift desk. Aside from those two things, nothing else that stands out to you.
You said most of the urns are cracked. Is there any that are not?
There's a few.
I'd like to take a closer look at the. You said it was a blackened blackened ash throne, kind of.
There is a blackened high-backed chair that
Okay.
sits behind the makeshift desk, and it has an armrest missing.
Anything does the makeshift between the makeshift desk and the actual serves as the chair, anything unusual?
The entire scene is unusual. Whoever set up this study clearly did so out of necessity rather than out of any desire to establish any sort of permanent presence.
I look up at the ceiling.
It falls on you.
You said there's
It
a coffin
is-
here, so I want to make sure there's not a vampire up there.
There are no vampires in Tyr.
Good choice of words.
Okay.
The urns that are cracked, are they full of ashes? I mean, does it look like they're like used or unused? I'm just
After,
trying to
after
figure out why
searching,
there's urns here. Seems
after
out of
searching
place.
through them, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay. I just don't know why I wouldn't. I don't think I'd expect urns to be right here. Set investigation.
So, a couple of things. Most of the urns are covered with dust and ash and cobwebs. Based on some of the earlier rooms, if you kind of traversed your way back here and some of the elvish carvings and the motifs, you get the sense that this part of Undermountain, at least this section of mountain, are likely is an ancient elven tomb, catacombs, and these are funeral urns that are part of that. As you're searching kind of through some of the cracked urns and through the dust, there is one thing that catches your eye. There's a tiny white pouch, inside of which is some fine dust.
Huh. And then it's
It looks like some very
It's-
fine sand inside this tiny white pouch.
and it looks different than all the dust and ash that it was
Yeah.
above it or over it.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I'll take the pouch and put it in my backpack.
Okay.
Try to figure out what it is later. I don't think we have an identify spell. Pouch of white dust. Sand.
Hey, Killy. Back in this
Mhm.
room, it's where the bloodletting tables and all that were. Is there anything It looked like they were. I mean, I know you said there were dried blood, and it looked like it's unusually, well, not unusually clean, but clean. Didn't look like it was a slaughterhouse in here. Um,
Right.
is there anything else that in this room that seems, you know, does it seem like it was like used a long time ago, or
Based on a casual observation, it looks like the place has not been.
okay? Hey guys, I'm gonna go let my dog out real fast. If you wanna just drag me along with y'all.
Okay.
Can do.
I want to kind of inspect the desk. Is there anything? Well, I guess not really the desk, but like just the room in general. Is there anything that seems like this is odd for it to be a dead end?
Based on casual observation, you also get the sense that yeah, this is probably elven catacombs and meant to be elven catacombs. I will tell you outside of game, for what it is worth, that this is a part of the design of the dungeon that is designed to allow for a dungeon master to expand this part of the dungeon into something of their own creation. I don't have anything. This is a dead end.
Okay, I was just really confused. I'm like, it just seems it's weird. There's a trap there, and then there's just a desk. I don't know. I thought there'd be more behind it. Okay.
So beyond that, based on your observation of this area, you get the sense, especially based on since you brought up the desk itself. The desk itself is haphazardly shaped out of um, what looks like the remains of some sort of elven tomb. And based on what you can surmise, you're given to you're given to think that this probably was the tomb of some elven character of an import, but someone invaded this place and took whatever was of value here a long time ago and used this place for their own purposes.
Okay.
Based on what you understand about this level of Undermountain, and based on what you've seen regarding the bloodletting chamber in the spellbook, you surmise it was probably one of Hallister's apprentices that did this.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, on that note, then, if there's nothing really to note here, I will start strolling back out.
Yeah, I'm heading on my way out. Back down the hall. Seeing if
Go
our
back to-
boulders are there.
You step on the pressure plate. You hear that boulder hit the mold earth. As you make your way back here, the boulder that was here is gone.
Huh.
Cage, you make your way over with the Modron still patrolling around these white pillars. It looks over at you and says, 8. And it keeps patrolling.
I turn and look at Julie. Did you eat the boulder while we weren't looking?
Kick
No.
the owl bear.
Was that an option?
I don't know. It's not here, and you're the only one I know that would eat things like that. So I figured I'd ask.
Drelloff, as you're around the corner there, looking up in the chamber above you, you see the petrified remains of what looks like some sort of frog creature, 4 of them in total.
You say frog?
Yeah, it looks like 4 statues of some frog-like creatures.
Do I see any treasure laying around the frog-like creatures?
Nope.
Meh.
As you wander down further, you see down this chamber the stone statue of what looks like some sort of lizard creature, lizard man creature.
Oh, we found the amphibian hall. Oh, whatever.
And you can barely make out down here the stone statue of what looks like a large snake. Up here is a stone statue of 3 almost look like snake-like creatures, but they have beaks. And you know what? You fought these before. 3 statues of Grix.
Okay.
And down here is the stone statue of a Kenku. Up
How
here,
lifelike are these statues?
pretty damn lifelike.
The artwork is pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Up here, you see the statues of what looks like 2 dark elves. Down here, another statue of a lizard creature. In the dead center of this area, though you can't work your way around it, you see the statue of what looks like that mind flayer that you guys fought in the Xanathar Guild hideout.
Anything up to my north?
Yes, a stone statue. The stone statues of four, they kind of look like insectoid-like creatures with two large mandibles sticking out in front of them. You haven't seen their kind of before. To your south, another stone statue. This one looks like that strange one-eyed creature you fought earlier in this level.
Julie's holding Singe out in front of him.
Okay, well, if he's not here to protest, I'll drag him forward.
He's not holding him in front of him, but yeah, keep him with the group.
Okay. To your north, Drelov, more stone statues. This one, to the north of what looks like some mixture lizard humanoid creature, not like the other ones you saw earlier, though. To the south, you see the petrified statue of what looks like a powerfully built orc.
Oh, Julie's gonna go check him out.
He's no one you recognize, but he looks like a pretty big, muscly, powerful built orc, and he looks very lifelike. Drelov, as you continue down, you see down here the statue of what looks like a giant badger.
It's a honey badger. No.
Down here, you see the statue of what looks like some sort of weird humanoid creature that you've never seen before. It looks like a mixture of some sort of ape and human. Up here, you see the statues of 6 goats. And down here, you see the statue of a human.
You said 6 goats?
Yep, 6 goats.
Must be Julie's harem.
Ha ha ha.
So all we saw was statues, huh?
A bunch of statues of a bunch of different things.
Was there anything else?
What's at the very end of the hallway here? Anything?
Make a perception check.
Ruh-roh.
You see the wall is a little off sides, and as you push it open, you see one more small indent and another stone statue. This one looks like Hallister Blackcloak himself.
No kidding. Check him out. Like, how good a depiction is as same quality as the rest of the statues?
Yes, pretty darn close.
Wow. What kind of pose did the sculptor place him in?
The depiction of this one is one where he has his arms raised and his cloak kind of billowing in sort of a powerful stance.
Anyone gonna come in here and see what I'm doing?
I'm just concerned. I'll walk in.
Julie sees you. He puts his hand up against the statues and pretends like they're having a a push competition. He's like, "Arr!" Ha ha ha. That's funny.
I wouldn't break that if I were you. We already kind of know what he does around these parts, if you know what I mean.
Just statue.
But he can see us anywhere we go in here, and I'm sure you breaking that wouldn't make him the happiest.
Whatever. Okay.
Seeing how upset you are, I'll be like, but if you really want to, I'm not going to stop you. I'll look the other way.
No, he's not upset. He was having fun. All right, let's go back.
There's nothing else about the statue?
It looks like a dead to rights statue of Hallister Blackcloak in the middle of some sort of powerful casting.
I'm going to call down the hallway for Treverin.
Alright, I come down the hallway.
I know you have a bad habit of drawing mustaches on this man, so you could mold Earth one on this one.
Hmm. Actually, instead of that, you said he's holding his hand straight up in the air.
Kind of think like Moses and parting the Red Sea. He's kind of in that sort of pose.
I cast mold earth on some dirt to make it into a disc, and I put it right on top of his hand so it looks like he's doing a pizza pie.
I love it.
And then I walk out.
Okay. Okay, you do a double take, and suddenly the picture of Hallister Blackcloak, the statue of Hallister Blackcloak, has been completely changed to look like he's tossing a pizza pie. And
Give a good
instead of
chuckle.
being in a power pose, it now fully looks like he's like trying to create pizza and tossing it up in the air and stuff.
I'll give it a chuckle, and I'll just kind of talk out loud, knowing Hollister can hear me. Man, that sure does look tasty. Walk away.
All right. This strange metal creature is just continuously patrolling around these 4 marble pillars.
He seems
Alright.
harmless enough.
What else do you guys do, if anything?
Wasn't there some more doors? So yeah, right here.
There.
I'm gonna open these doors.
Okay. It's a pair of double doors that has the relief carvings of dwarves. Inside the room beyond it, you see a large hallway. A large room, I should say, not really a hallway. There is a 30-foot high ceiling in here that is supported every 20 feet or so by thick stone arches. In between the arches, you see hanging from the ceiling are the skeletal remains of 4 gigantic dragons, their bones held together by wire and cement. There are a few pieces of the dragons that have broken off and fallen to the floor.
Well, too bad Singe isn't here to.
And you can make out the crumbled remains of a 5th, slightly larger dragon in the southern alcove here.
Anything special about that dragon? It's kind
Make
of in
him
its
a
own.
make a medicine check while you're examining these skeletons. Treverin, you just a casual observation. Nothing stands out aside from it being bigger. Dreloff, as you get a closer look at these dragons themselves, you surmise they are all of about adult size. And based on the skulls themselves, you being in your tribe privy to the natural carvings of different dragons, them usually being kept especially as trophies of powerful foes by different tribes, you recognize the skulls of the dragons in here as being one each of all of the metallic dragons. 1 brass, 1 bronze, 1 copper, 1 silver, and the slightly larger one to the south, the gold.
Is this a staircase?
It is a staircase that ascends downward.
I come back, I'm like, what travesty is this? What fresh hell do my eyes gaze upon?
Your brethren.
I look at him with a hungry feeling, hoping he knows to back the fuck off.
I pick up a dragon bone and toss it to it.
Enraged, I attack Dreloff.
Okay.
Oh wait, I guess I gotta clear some distance out there. There we go.
He comes to you, even better.
Well, if he's gonna toss you a bone of one of the dragons.
Yeah, he would have to be kind of close.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
So-
doesn't have that much. He doesn't have that much hang time for a dwarf.
Okay. So, Drelloff, you toss a bone, one of the scraps of bones off of the floor in Singe's direction. You watch as Singe pulls out his mace and his shield and gets ready to charge you.
Oh
The
no!
rest of you seeing this.
No. Like trying to eat him. Like I'm
Okay.
not using the mason shield. I'm just pissed and kind of like going at
Like an
him.
alligator going for the lunch.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The rest of you see Singe begin to charge for Drelloff. What, if anything, are you guys doing in reaction to this?
I'm gonna take a small step back.
Kay takes one step to the left.
5 gold on the barbarian.
Vigo
That would be
steps
so
back.
sure. That's one hungry dragonborn.
Treverin, you hear all this going on behind you. Okay. Drelloff and Singe roll initiative against one another. And anybody else who wants to jump in the midst of this can do so.
I don't know if you heard that, but I'm not even paying attention. I'm looking down the stairs.
Okay, it just slows down. All right. So Singe, you have the first order.
Close to here, and immediately try to cook his fucking little ass.
All right.
Vigo, you want any of Julie's action? I got 5 gold on the barbarian.
Do you want any of Julie's
No.
action?
All right. So Singe charges forward at you, Drelloff, and unleashes a gout of flame. I need to go ahead and make a dex save against it.
You said dex save.
Mm-hmm. 11 points of fire damage. Bits of your beard are singed and burnt off. And Singed looks like a rabid for a meal. Drelloff, you're up next. Sorry, go ahead, Singe.
No, I'm looking like I'm going to chase him around.
Okay. Drelloff, how do you respond?
I'll punch him in the nose.
Okay. Make an unarmed strike, so just make a strength check.
Strength check.
Crit. All right. Singe, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you're punched clear across the nose.
He should be more concerned about my teeth.
All right. Anything else, Drelloff?
I don't get a second attack if I'm not using a weapon, do I?
You get a second attack period. You got extra attack. You can punch him again if you want.
Oh, so I'm going for.
All right. Make another strength check. I don't think it's going to beat his AC. Nope.
No.
Singe ducks away from that one. All right. Singe, you're up next.
I'm truly trying to get trying to get at him, and I don't have a bite weapon.
No.
But that's what I'm going to attempt to do.
Okay. We'll just count it as an unarmed strike. So you can make a strength check against him then. Nope. Drelloff dodges out of the way, seeing you coming. All right. That it for your turn?
No. I will attempt to do so again.
War God's Blessing?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a save. Sorry.
That's a save. Make a check.
Mm.
Drelloff dodges out of the way. Drelloff? Sorry.
Okay.
Are you going to do something else?
Yes, I will attempt to bite him again. No, I'm only kidding.
So I was going to say, you only have so many actions in a turn. You got a bonus action you can do or something along those lines, but
No, I know.
Drelloff, this dragonborn compatriot of yours is madly going after you.
I'll punch him in the face again.
All right. Strength.
Damn it.
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope. All right. So we're not here all night. Are you guys basically just going to keep going at it over and over again until one of you faints?
I've got pretty long endurance. I would suggest maybe that someone, either stop him or stop me, but that's out of character.
In my mind, he deserves it.
I think the rest of your party is basically letting the two of you go at one another.
I'm rolling initiative to get into the middle of this. Now that
Okay.
I turned around and seen.
Okay. We'll
The
do
three
this
of us
then.
back here are betting on stuff, so.
All right. We'll do this then. Let's do Singe and Drelloff because you guys will be next in the initiative order then.
Oh, you roll again?
No. Just
Okay.
you're up next. So what do you do?
I'm
You're still at him.
like an alligator, just trying to find purchase. I'm gonna go for his leg.
Okay. Athletics
stubby
or
little
excuse me, strength. Just not athletics. Just regular strength. No, he dodges out of the way. Drelloff.
Oh, that's all you're gonna do. Okay.
He's only got one attack. He doesn't have multi-attack.
Well, I do, but
Well, shit.
Well, you have to burn a War God's blessing. You'll have so many charges of that. All right, you guys are. He's lashing out at you. You're ducking. You're trying to get connects to him with punches across the nose. He's ducking and dodging. Treverin, you're up next. What do you do?
All right, I move to here, and I cast this on top of him.
Okay.
Tell him to knock it off.
That's a 20-yard radius, 15 foot.
Mine's 15 foot, but it's a range of 60 feet.
Yep. I just need to know how big a circle to drag out. All right. Oh, Sphere of Darkness surrounds the both of you. Vigo, you rolled initiative. What do you do, if anything?
Well, I was heading this way, but I pull up short when darkness appears and just stand there.
Okay. Singe, you're surrounded by darkness. You can't see your prey anymore.
1 second. Let me just check that.
Sure.
Okay, it's working. I think.
Okay.
Uh. Um. Even though I can't see him, I'm going to say you would throw a bone of an ancestor at me, and we're running around with a person that desecrated your people and murdered your kind? I've done nothing but be kind and helpful to you.
Drelloff, you're next.
Well, you said you were hungry.
Is that how you respond?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just assume Treverin and Vigo. Treverin's going to focus on the darkness. If you guys want to do anything else, step up and say
Oh yeah,
something.
while they're yelling at each other, I'm like, if you want to see again, knock it off.
Yes, I can't see him, right?
You can't see anything.
Okay.
Hey, no bet if I can't see them fight.
I can't see. On the top of myself, I'm casting this because now I'm pissed.
Okay. You still can't see, but you do have spirits floating around and protecting you.
Julie will say to Vigo, we should stop this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Can you see them to stop it?
Now here's no, I gotta add before you decide to do the Singe. When you cast the spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it.
Correct.
So you can't see anybody.
You're right.
Anybody who walks into that's going to be affected by it. Just gonna throw that out there for everybody's benefit.
We don't know he casted it, so.
Yeah, technically, you really.
You can
might
kind of see the
like
outliers of them
edges
around the edge of the darkness. You don't know that you're not going to be affected by it. So I'm just throwing that out there for anybody's benefit. If you walk in, those things are going to attack you. Because he can't see you to designate you as friendly. So you conjure up your spiritual allies, and they begin floating around you, although you can't see it. I assume that's your turn then.
But can his spectre see anybody in the darkness?
You're the one who has to make the saving throw.
Okay. What kind of saving throw?
Wisdom. All right, we'll say go ahead and make that wisdom saving throw now.
Yes, I'm looking for it.
15 radiant damage coming your way as the spectral guardians that you cannot see in this magical darkness begin to pelt you. And then you're up. And if any of the rest of you who aren't in the initiative order wants to do something, feel free to just roll initiative.
Hmm. I'm trying to see. Yeah, my dark vision doesn't work in this shit, right? That's because it's
Nope.
magic.
No.
There's only one
Magical
person who can
darkness.
see what's going on in there, and that's me.
And Avery's probably sitting. No, what? That can't Avery see
Technically-
the darkness?
Technically, Kay can see it too, but
Oh, I thought on mine only I could see through it.
Kay has a special invocation as a warlock that allows him to see through all magical darkness.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, Drelloff, you can't see. You got pelted. What are you doing?
I'm looking.
He's gonna swing.
Technically, you're not looking.
Well, he's trying to look.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going through. It's like I don't have shit for.
You are not prepared.
And I can't swing wildly.
I mean, you can, but
Be a disadvantage, right?
it would be if you could rage and reckless attack to put yourself at normal swing.
Hmm.
But does he want to piss off the dragon that much?
Depends on how far you want to take this.
Let's see.
Drelloff, I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to make a decision, and then I'm going to say
I'm
it's
over.
your turn.
Yeah, I'm just going to back out of the darkness.
Okay. Since you cannot get an opportunity attack against him because you can't see him.
Right. No, I know.
So Drelloff, you back out of the darkness, you can make out the flits of the angelic guardian swirling around.
Uh,
Is that your turn?
I'm going to hold action.
Okay. Kay, are you doing anything?
I'm going to attempt to get between them.
Okay, you can see through the darkness charging in. Singe is standing there looking really, really pissed. Drelloff is looking in around. He can't see you. Do you say anything or do anything?
All right, kiddos, that's enough.
Wouldn't he get hit by the guardians?
Yeah, he kind of would.
Yes, he would. So you'd need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Perfect.
Go ahead and roll damage for the guardians.
Sure, hold on.
So as you charge into the darkness, you get pelted by the guardians, being treated as an enemy. 14 points of radiant damage.
There you go.
All right, that's it.
So I charge in knowing damn well I'm gonna get hit.
Okay. So you charge in, the guardians floating angrily around you, and you shout that out between the two of them. Julie, what do you do, if anything?
Nothing at the moment. I can't see him, so I'll move to a little bit closer, but I'm not going to enter that darkness.
Okay. Treverin, what do you do, if anything?
Let me see how much movement I got. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up here, and then I'm going to smack Drelloff upside the head.
Okay. Just go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Okay. Then I'm going
Okay.
to yell, apologize!
It doesn't do any damage, but Drelloff, you feel the elf smack you upside the head. Vigo, what do you do, if anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Singe.
I'm still pissed. I'm calming down a little bit because, well, to be honest with you, I'm assuming my guardians are fucking up Dreyloff, but I don't know that because I can't see him.
Correct.
I don't know that he's even backed out of the what do you call it?
Correct. You can hear, though, and I will say you hear
Yeah.
Kay get hit by them,
Well,
and you would recognize that.
do I hear K get hit or do I hear something get hit?
You would have ventured with this party long enough to recognize the sound of one of your specific compatriots getting hit, and you would have heard Kay getting hit and recognized that was Kay who just got hit by one of your guardians.
All right. Well, now knowing that someone that my anger was not directed toward, I will drop said spell.
Okay.
And just from the darkness, I'm going to not look over, but I'm going to say, keep that food away from me.
Cat food.
Draloff, you're next. How do you respond?
Hmm. I guess he has a thing for dwarf meat.
Okay. Are you guys still fighting, or are we out of combat?
Oh, we're out of combat.
Okay. I'll say we're out of combat. The
I drop
darkness
my
is still
darkness spell.
focused.
I
Okay.
drop it. And then I smack Draloff upside the head again.
Okay.
You say the dragons are in which area right here? Down in this
There are 4 large dragons that line the entire hallway,
all the
plus the one down here that Draloff identified as being the skeletal remains of a golden dragon.
Do I even have to figure out that it's the remains of a golden dragon?
You would know.
I'm just
While
going.
he's
Go ahead.
while he's still now, I'm gonna go pick up the bone that Draloff tried to toss to Singe and go return it back to its resting spot.
I'm just going to go closer and say, "Uh, who could have done such an evil thing here?" And basically, I want to see if I can figure out what the hell happened here. How could such like uh noble kin or distant king have been slaughtered in such a way?
Based on a casual observation of this area, the best thing you can tell, you don't know how such powerful beings of your kin could have been slain and hung like trophies in a hall like this, but you do know it was dwarves.
It's always the dwarf.
Or at least you certainly surmise, based on what you've seen, that it was probably dwarves.
I'm going to approach to here, and I'm not. Though I did not know these dragons, I am going to uh, get down on my knees and say a prayer over them. And not that even though they're well above me in stature and whatnot, but I do know what God they served for the most part, and I'm
Bahamut?
just yeah, I know. I'm just saying I do know what God they served, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say a prayer. I can't imagine anyone gave these poor, unfortunate creatures their last rites, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do here.
Okay. Were you a war cleric of Bahamut?
Uh, I, when I made the
Uh,
character, I did say uh, a dragon god. I didn't
you didn't specify it.
specify because I didn't have any books on dragon gods,
Okay.
but I would have said yes.
Okay. We'll say for now, unless you decide otherwise, that it's Bahamut.
Yeah, I kept fucking up Tiamat and Bahamut earlier when I was talking about
Yeah,
them just from natural slip of the tongue, but yes,
sure.
that would be what I would be.
Okay. So Dreloff, you kind of storm off a little irritated at your party kind of slapping you across the face and everything. You see the stone stairs descending downward.
Um, After that, I'm going to get up and I'm actually going to apologize to Kay because I'm going to see how that he's a little hurt, and I'm going to I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him at level 1.
Okay. 5 hit points back to K.
All is forgiven. I figured I probably should intervene before someone got more hurt than they should have.
I
Although,
look at Singe and say, is there anything else we can do for your kin here? I mean, they're hung up like trophies. Should we I mean, I don't know where we would bury him or anything, but
Oh, I-
I don't know if it's respectful to leave them hanging like trophies. You want us to lower them, at least put them back on the ground?
If it look, Killy, does it look like that would be hard to do, like to take them down?
They're held together by wire and cement. It would take an awful lot of effort to get them all down.
I'm going to tell them no. Let us just leave this. Let us just leave this place.
I nod and say, okay.
Before we leave, though, while everyone's doing what they're going to do, I am going to leave behind a candle of remembrance from my homeland in the corner over here.
Okay.
I always carry around candles with me from when I was part of Tethir. Or not Tethir, yeah, Tethir.
The Tetherian
Yeah.
priesthood.
Yep.
Okay. So did you notice Kay lay down a memorial candle that you, although you're not familiar with the exact
Ritual or
ceremony or
yeah,
ritual,
ceremony.
you would recognize the ceremony candle for what it is.
Gotcha.
And I will ask which way, since we have a staircase to our left and a staircase to our right.
Here we are, stuck in the middle of clowns.
I guess. Does the staircase, I'm going to guess, lead down? No, it doesn't, does it?
Staircase to the left does lead down to a short hallway that stops at a door.
So, doorway, I guess?
Go for it.
I will pop it open.
It's a small room that ends here. You see a broken stone bench in the middle of this room, and spread across it is the skeletal remains of a tiefling, clad in rotted leather armor. The skeleton clutches a quarterstaff that has become brittle with age. There's a backpack that looks like it had once contained adventuring gear, but it has long since rotted or rusted away.
Is there anything else of note in this room other than this corpse?
It looks like there may have once been a dwarven shrine of some kind, but it has worn away with age.
Then I guess I will just search through his things to make sure, see if I have any leftover coin or anything like that.
Upon a quick search, anything of value has long since worn away.
Okay.
You get the sense that this particular dead adventurer has been here for quite some time. And you wonder in the back of your mind whether this may have been a prior contestant.
Then I will stroll back out.
I guess we're going down.
Down, down.
So, that descends down to level 3. Everybody's going to level 3?
Yes.
Okay. As you descend down, you hear the voice of Hallister Blackcloak blare above you, saying, "And so, our contestants persevere in the face of their countless shortcomings, saying goodbye to the arcane chambers, and hello to the dwarven ruins of Stromkoldur. But, sorry, what?
No, coughing.
Okay. But, we wonder, can they weather the storm of spiders and venom that is House Arenvinder? Can they escape the wretched drow? Or shall they too become pregnant with the demon goddess's foul children? Find out this and more on Dungeon of the Mad Mage!
Do you want to run
You
past
hear-
that last sentence one more time for me? Pregnant with what now?
Pregnant with the demon goddess's foul children.
Okay then.
And you hear, after a brief musical interlude, the voice of the Mad Mage blare forward. This episode is brought to you by Brawl State, the multiverse's most respected adventure insurance company. Healing spells and resurrections don't come cheap. That's Brawl State, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Damn it.
Awful. Just awful.
Well, I feel like this guy is just one large meme.
That's exactly what he is. That's exactly what I'm designing him to be.
Reminds you so much of Richard Dawson.
So I'm going to use old school. Like I said, I'm going to use old school. Reveal the map and everything here, so no dynamic lighting. So, descending down the stairs. Let me pull up the chapter notes here. You descend down the stairs, and the cavern down here is noticeably colder than it was upstairs. The hallway continues on to either your left or your right.
See what's over here.
Okay.
I get another sensation of the. Is this passage sloping at all?
It is not,
And
but good try. Good guess.
what's around the corner?
The carved hallway continues off into a far more cavernous area to the south.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Just a second. All right.
Is that a door here?
It is. So, as you kind of make your way down, there is what looks like the remains of some sort of cavernous area down here. The cavern itself is 30 feet high, and there are several crumpled single-story buildings here with roofs caved in. And if you peek inside some of these small buildings, it looks like that their insides have been picked clean for the most part.
Oh, so that's what the door is. It's just the entrance to one of these small buildings.
Yes.
Hey, Kelly. Do
Yes.
do I know what these small buildings might have been?
As far as you know, they could have been homes, they could have been shops. It looks like they're the remains of some sort of small settlement that may have once inhabited this portion of the cavern. But whatever was here is no longer here.
What about down
So-
here, Kelly? The bottom corner.
The cavern continues on either further to the south, but it also curves around to the east.
So, Kelly, we know on this level this is where the supposed war is taking place. Do we hear any sounds of fighting or anything, or is it eerily quiet?
It is eerily quiet.
Okay.
Take a look down that east passage.
I have to ask because you don't have dark vision. Do you have some sort of light going on, Julie?
Whatever. I don't know. What have we been using? Was someone carrying a torch?
I assume
Or no,
somebody was.
someone
I
enchanted.
thought you had a
someone
glow of light
enchanted
or something.
Yeah, someone enchanted the end of the 10-foot staff with a light spell.
Okay.
So if that's needed, then I will just take it out of the bag and hold it while
Okay.
I'm walking around.
Okay.
I'm gonna check down here.
Oops.
I don't like it. You look like that,
What
Kelly.
the? Yeah.
I
What
don't
the
like
hell?
it. You look like that either. That was way too much genie for my liking.
Sorry, I did a tab and it did something wrong. Okay, so in this room, you see to the south is a pile of coins in the southern half of this 15-foot high chamber. Sitting on top of this pile of coins is a monstrosity of a creature with the head of a dragon, the head of a lion, then the head of a goat. It looks up at you, and all three heads kind of glower in your direction.
So before we start this, I have to know, on a close examination, just by glancing at it, how much coin do you think is in that pile?
Not enough to attack this thing.
So
Veritable
get this-
horde.
I want to get this straight. So you want us to go down and fight the bad mage as soon as possible, but a chimera appears, and you're not worried about that? Aren't you worried about that?
Yes.
We'll look at all its stuff.
Julie gets wide-eyed, and the chimera is just glowering in your direction.
I
Let's
will
see.
poof my
figured.
sword into existence.
Okay. Seeing you poof the sword into existence, it gets up and it roars loudly, enough that it echoes through the chamber.
Well, now everybody knows that we're here.
Then you best be watching our backs.
Better roll initiative.
You want me to throw you again?
Oh, that's the first question you pose.
Right into the dragon or the lion or
Lion's
their
mouth.
mouth.
I just like that's exactly how I imagine Julie saying it too. It's like he knows the fight's about to happen. He just casually looks over. You want me to throw you again?
Alrighty.
Leslie, please help.
So, we'll begin the round with Julie.
Julie will move in. Seeing a dragon's head, he wants to spread out a little bit. So he's going to move in and hold his action. If it comes into melee range, he's going to use his held action to attack it.
Okay. Vigo.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me just correct one thing. If Vigo says if answers his question, which is completely serious, with throw me at it, we'll do that instead.
Well, being on the back of this thing offers me no advantage because the other heads will just turn around and.
All right.
Jesus Christ. Nope.
All right. So there you go. Julie moves, holds his action specifically to attack it if it moves into melee range.
Okay. Vigo, you're up next.
Piss. I'll move there and
Okay.
hold action for movement of the chimera.
Okay. Holding your action. Kay, you're up next.
So I have a question for you that I guess I never really thought about before. So, with Hex, link real quick. Oops, I forgot I don't have spells linked. Well, never mind then. So if I cast it on a 3rd or 4th level spell, it can last for up to 8 hours, and I can move it on as a bonus action on subsequent turns. Does that mean I can just cast it now and then use it as a bonus action later? Since it's an 8-hour concentration?
Well, that's a good question because it doesn't say it ends after the target dies.
Use bonus action on subsequent turn of yours to curse a new creature. So long as you're concentrating on the spell, then the answer would be yes, but you'd have to be spending that entire time concentrating on the spell.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. I guess I hadn't read it before, and I looked at it and went, oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to stroll out this way and still making space like these guys are. And I'm going to give it some blight.
Okay. Necrotic beads of energy jumping around it is going to do its best to resist. Succeeding, taking only half damage, which is still going to be 18. Alrighty.
19 damage.
38. Yeah, you're right.
But that'll be my turn.
Okay. Treverin.
Okay, I am going to move to here. And what I want to do is just double checking. Is I want to cast this on the dragon in the lion's eyes.
Okay.
Trying to blur its vision, since it really wouldn't blind it.
Okay. So, throwing the bubble of acid towards it, it is going to fail its save. It's only going to take the 9 points of acid damage, but you do manage to temporarily blur the vision, you think, of the creature. At least a couple of its heads.
That was my goal.
Okay. Singe, you're up next.
Oh, hold on. I gotta get off the ruler. I'm gonna move to here, and I'm going to cast on the 3 of these guys. Hold on.
All right. Which 3 are you casting it on?
The here, here.
The 3 melee fighters.
The 3 melee fighters. Gotcha. All right. You concentrate on that spell. 3 blesses out.
And I think I'm gonna be right here.
Okay. The creature is up next. The one head that can see is going to kind of guide the creature forward, striding up close to Vigo. And the dragon head, enraged, is going to let loose a cone of fiery breath.
It's gonna get smacked twice first.
All right, go ahead and use that held action then. 20 hits. So it's 21. Go ahead and roll damage for those. All right. It takes that damage, staggering, but it is still going to unleash its attacks upon you, starting with its fire breath. Go ahead and make a dex save for me.
Roll a d4.
Not
You
gonna
can
help.
add a d. Yeah, not going to help.
Okay.
So, whoops. You're taking 38 points of fire damage. And then once it manages with that, it's going to slice at you once with its claws, and then the goat head is going to try to impale you with the horns. The claws are going to miss. The horns are going to miss. Dreloff, you're up.
There's 35.
I glare at him as he walks by me.
We snarl even.
I'm going to use the full. My action is another move to get close to it. So
All right.
is it?
You're done?
Yes.
Okay. Julie, you're up next.
All right, Julie's gonna rush up on it to here. Wait, I was here. So hold on, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh yeah, I can get all the way here, and I'll attack it.
All right, go for it. 11 misses, so does 9.
D4, D4.
You can't add d4.
Oh, I can, you said?
Yeah, you're blessed. You can add a d4 to those if you want.
That was trickery.
Okay. Well, the 15 hits. So you can roll damage for that 15 then.
Oh,
All right.
Power.
Woohoo! Power move. Vigo is up next.
Well, it's time to do damage. I don't have to move. It's just gonna attack it.
All right. Alrighty. 11 is going to miss.
Mother of fucker.
23 isn't.
That's it.
Alrighty. Kay, you're up next.
Let's get rid of this thing quick. I'm gonna charge up beside Draloff over here. And give him 2 good thwackins. I don't think it's gonna matter.
D4.
D4s.
Slash roll. So a 2 and a 1, so 15 and a 13.
13 misses, 15 does not. Ooh, nice roll. All right. This creature is badly injured. Julie, you're actually standing on top of the coin pile as you attack it. Treverin, you're up next.
Yeah.
All right. Just to make sure I had completely visible to see him, I am going to magic missile him at level 3.
Alrighty.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alrighty. 2, 4, 4 is 8, 10, 12 points of damage coming its way. Still badly injured, still not dead.
And then I'm gonna move back over here to get partial cover.
Okay, Singe, you're up next.
I'm going to get close to Vigo,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast. Wait, let me make sure I got here. Is it level
Can't believe I
3?
rolled that many ones. That's horrible.
Vigo gets that back for hit points.
On Vigo? Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to retreat back to here so I can. Oh,
Is that
damn it!
14 back?
14 back.
And I'm going to retreat back to here so as to avoid any. So it doesn't
Okay.
break my concentration.
Gotcha. Alright, Chimera is up next. It does not get its flame breath back. Let's see. You know what, Kay? You heard it pretty badly. It's going to bite, horn, and claw you.
Of course it is.
Crit miss. Crit miss. Crit hit.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
So 20 points on that one. The other two, you managed to very deftly move, but you didn't see the claws coming. You were paying attention to the hits. Alright, Dreloff, you're up next.
I think Drayloff fell asleep.
Holy, you there?
Yeah, I'm thinking. That's
Thinking
good.
real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna rage. No, I'm not. Fuck that. I'm going to whack him twice.
Okay.
Woohoo!
23 hits.
Bah.
Alright. He takes it, still standing.
17 hits.
17. Yep. He's looking like he's about to keel over, but he is still standing.
Let's see if I can finish this thing off.
Yeah, before that.
I love the before that.
Okay, now it's your turn.
How much care for all those numbers you just put down there? I'm gonna be honest.
Part of he roared and shook the cavern. Did you miss? Okay. So, with that damage, you do manage to take this creature out.
Huzzah!
It roars its one final defeating blow as you take your sword to its chest, and it kind of collapses over.
Talk to me, Monty. Let's search this bitch.
You see all sorts of coins scattered around. Vigo, you see as the beast goes down.
I see what.
You see as the beast goes down, as well as all this big pile of coin that Julie is happily beginning to search through.
Leave the coin. There's probably other people coming now that we've had that thing trumpet our presence.
Hey, this is why I came.
While you're having this discussion.
5, 6. There you go.
Okay. You charge forward expecting an ambush from your back, and you would be correct. Skidding along the 10-foot-high hallway, you see several giant spiders begin to skitter forth right over top of you.
God.
As they skitter atop, they are all going to shoot webs down at you. One against Treverin, one against you, Vigo, and one against Singe. I need all of you. Well, actually, they have to make attack rolls with them. So we'll start with Treverin. You are absolutely webbed. Then Singe, you are not. And Vigo, you are. So Singe, you managed to dodge the shot and don't have to worry about it. But Treverin and Vigo, you are both webbed in place by these large spiders that are 10 feet above you. Okay, you could hear the skittering behind you. Turn around and see this.
So they're on the ceiling then?
Yes.
Okay.
Enemies from the rear, spiders.
How high is the cavern?
It is 10 feet high. They are at the very, very
Okay.
top of the ceiling.
Okay, so
So.
not very hot, about far above my head. Okay.
Yeah.
So what
About
if I
5 feet above you.
What-
Just out of melee reach, I should say.
would you say that hit all three of them if I did that?
It depends on what it is you're doing.
I am casting Shatter.
Yeah, that would hit him.
My idea is I'm gonna try and see if I can't either A, shake them off the wall or shake them off the ceiling, or have the ceiling collapse so they have to come off.
Okay. So let's see some con saves from them. A 1, a 2, a 3, just short. So they're going to take the full damage of that, which can be 23 each. They are still standing, as a matter of speaking. However, because you are casting it on the stone ceiling, it does. They have spider climbs. I'm afraid they don't fall, but it does cause them to be a little bit off kilter. I will say they have disadvantage on any next attack they would like to do. In fact, better yet, I'll say they're on difficult terrain and they'll have half movement.
Damn, I was hoping I could bring the ceiling down.
On top of your friends, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Oh.
Sorry.
And he's like, "Aw."
They'd have been fine.
I'm gonna bring the ceiling down on top of my friends and trap us all in this cavern now.
We have
if
two big meaty men and a lot of hands.
If that were to happen, I was canceling the
That
bless
is
on
downright.
K.
You heard what?
I said if that would have happened, I would have canceled the bless on K.
It would have happened one way or the other. Rocks fall, everyone dies. All right. So, joining them from the south, you see several drow warriors charge forward. And 3 of them are going to surround you. 3 of them are going to hang back a little bit in the cavern to keep an eye on things. And have ranged weapons drawn. So the 3 that surround you, I'm just going to double check the web here and make sure I got my details correctly. You are considered restrained, not grappled, restrained, which means attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. So, the 3 drow charging against you, Vigo, are going to take out short swords, and they are all going to attack you. Miss. That'll hit you for 7 points. And miss.
All right.
One of the drow back here is going to, and he doesn't have it in his spellcasting detail here, but he's going to cast Fairy Fire. So I need let's see. I need the 3 of you guys who are surrounded by these creatures to make dexterity saving throws. Those of you who are in the web will have disadvantage.
Vigo would just roll normally.
Treverin fails. Why would Vigo roll normally?
And I'm blessed.
Bless doesn't would just add a d4.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah,
give
that's
you
right.
advantage.
That's right. Not advantage. My stupid part. I'm thinking of something else. Sorry, Kelly.
Okay, so on top of Singe, you're okay. But the 2 of you who are webbed, on top of now being caught up in this web, you guys are also lit in blue flame. And as a reminder for Fairy Fire, all of that does is it basically ensures that any attacks against you have advantage if you can be seen. And you also shed a dim blue light in a 10-foot radius. And it is, I'm just going to highlight him with a pink marker, that drow who's focused on the spell. The other 2 back here are going to have hand crossbows drawn, and they're going to fire them in your direction, Singe.
All right.
23 is going to hit you. You'll need to make a Constitution saving throw.
I will.
All right, you do not succumb to the poison, but you are taking 5 points of piercing. The second attack against you is going to crit miss. The crossbow misfires, and he has to reload. Treverin, you're up.
Okay, so what I'm going to do first is aiming at this guy right here. I'm not really very happy at this very moment. So he's going to get this at level 4.
Ah, I see. So,
I'll do
pointing
that,
over the
and
drow.
it is going to center
Alrighty.
something that looks, I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
Can't really tell for sure
So,
if that's centered on him, but you can
okay.
already tell.
So, it's going to be a wide enough burst that it's going to, it's not going to clip the 2 that are right next to Vigo from where it is. You'd have to move it a little bit further, which you can do without clipping Vigo. So, in the interest of your benefit,
Yep.
I will allow that much. So, given that it's doing 31 and on a save, they would take 15 total. They got less than 15 hit points max. Everything in that blast dies. And you
Okay.
guys are no longer affected by the fairy fire. And I'm just going to straight up delete them from the game.
Okay, and then as a bonus action, I am going to bamf out of this over to here.
Okay. You bamf out of the webbing. You're like, ew, yeah, gross.
That'd be my turn.
Okay. Charting out from the south is one more very well-dressed drow who, poking his head around, sees everything that's happening, goes, shit, and is going to call out a warning in Undercommon and throw out a darkness spell.
I warn everybody. What warning is he shouting out?
Fall back and regroup.
I'm going to tell my friends that.
I guess I take it you speak Undercommon then.
I do.
All right. Where's that area of effect spell? There it is. All right. And he casts the darkness right over there, we'll say. All right. Singe, you're covered in darkness.
All right. Well, so let me just see if I can read this. Or let me read the. I can see. I basically know Vigo's to my left, correct? I mean, he was there a second ago before the darkness spell cast. I assume he's to my left.
You have a general sense of where he is, though you can't see.
I'm going to try to get out of the darkness. I'm going to try to go this way and stumble past Vigo.
Okay. One thing before I forget, I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw for your blessed because it's concentration and you did take a crossbow hit.
I did. It's still up. Constitution save, 17.
That's a dexterity save you made again. I see.
Constitution save, 17.
Oh, I see it. I'm sorry. Well, no, that was the Constitution save against the poison from the hand crossbow.
Oh, wait. So, all right. So I'm making 2 con saves there?
Yeah, so for the first was a con save against the poison because it can knock you straight unconscious. Drow poison can.
Okay.
And because you took damage from the piercing of the crossbow bolt, you still need to make a con save for the blessing, which unfortunately drops.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I just didn't know I was rolling twice. I got you. All right. Then I'm going to I'm going to try to push past Vigo in that direction,
Okay.
assuming I can.
It'll be difficult terrain, but you'll be able to manage.
All right, because it's only a couple feet. Can I see now?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see the spider that's half in the darkness, and you can see the one standing drow warrior who is getting ready to retreat.
Okay, that's fine.
Are we not webbed anymore?
You are.
You're still webbed.
All right.
Let me just...
Not that easily.
That should be a trivial strength check, though, for you.
And that's when I whip out a 1.
Alright. Then right next to me, in the space above me, since I can now see,
hmm
I'm casting that.
Damage on a failure, half damage success. Okay.
That'll be right there.
Let's get a different color.
Yeah, I don't know what we would use for that.
All right, just drag that green circle exactly where you want them to be.
I guess it would be centered right about there.
Okay. All right. The large spectral guardian of a dragonborn floats in there and nods at you, and taking a gleaming sword of light and a shield that is blazing with the emblem of Bahamut, he gets ready to assault the foes both above and below you. Drelloff, you go ahead.
Well, since it's enemies that move within the space, since he's summoning on people, does it automatically swing?
It will affect as soon as their turn starts.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Thank you.
See, to be honest with you, I was a little unsure myself. It was the first time using that spell.
That's the first time I've seen that spell myself. That's why I was reading it and was curious.
It's not very clear on the ruling for that, but the way I'm going to run it is it'll trigger on the start, because technically it's going to be acting on its when it acts on its turn. It's going to be moving within the space. All right, Dreloff, you hear this noise behind you. You hear the explosion of a fireball by Trebaran. Trebaran backs up in your direction. You saw the spiders briefly before a darkness spell came down, and all this shit is going on. Meanwhile, Julie's kind of looking up, confused for a minute, and his hands are covered in these coins.
Julie's like, battle? There's gold here.
Why fight with so much gold?
Well, since I can't see shit and I saw Trevorrow back up, I'm just going to stand here and hold action.
Okay. Julie, your hands are half covered in golden coins.
Yeah, and I likewise can't see anything.
Meanwhile, with Julie,
Well,
stuff pocket, stuff pocket, stuff pocket.
No, Julie's going to move up to the edge of the darkness. Does
Ching,
the
ching,
light
ching,
on the
ching.
edge? Does the light on the edge of his 10-foot pole? Is it proof against the darkness at all?
Nope. Magical darkness.
I'm going to step back then and
Ching, 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 ching.
hold my action.
Ching, 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 ching. You step
Or
back onto the coin pile.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Vigo. There is a spectral guardian now floating above you. You are still covered in webbing, and there is still a spider and a dark elf nearby.
Okay. What do I get disadvantage on attacks, or what's the deal with the webbing?
Restrained is your speed becomes 0. You cannot benefit from any bonus to speed. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and attack rolls against you have advantage, and you have disadvantage on all dex saves.
Oh, the hell with that. I'm breaking out. I'm using my action to break out of the web.
All right, strength check. Good enough. You flex your muscles, and the web bursts.
And then immediate threat, I'm going to use... Oh, no, I'm not, because I already used it. Shit. That's it. That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Okay, you're up next. You can see through the magical darkness and see all that's going on.
I am going to charge all the way to the drow. And coming out of the darkness, I'm going to give him the 1-2.
All right. Both attacks are going to miss.
No, that makes me sad.
He parries both blows.
Sorry,
right.
my bless fell off.
Yep. So, you're off focusing on a new spell anyway.
I know.
The drow is going to start its turn, and he has to make what kind of save against your spell?
Large spectral, gleaming sword, any creature that moves.
A dexterity save.
Dex save.
Dex save. That's not going to beat it. All right, that's going to be 20 radiant. All right. You watch as the spectral guardian, sword and shield, resplendent in light, swings down, and the drow disintegrates into holy light.
Right on.
Right on, metal. Treverin, you're up next.
All right, quick question. Darkness, does that make it difficult terrain or just
Can't see. Blind
just
is
can't
basically.
see, right? Okay. But I kind of know the center direction from where I was standing, where I bamfed to earlier, correct? So I probably could find my way through it. And the second question is, the spiders you say are out of melee range, so I should be able to pass under them without provoking opportunity attacks? Okay, excellent. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my action to dash.
All right.
And I'm going to move to here with my movement speed. So that's 40. And then I'm going to quicken a spell.
Gotcha.
And our little drow friend here that reminds me of Isn't, I'm going to hit with a Mind Spike.
Okay. Wisdom save. Oops, sorry. There we go. He fails. He takes the 11 points of damage.
And I know where he's at.
And you know where he's at. So, I can actually adjust it. There it goes. All right. So he reels back. He has to make a Constitution save on the darkness, which he does. All right. You watch as he just beats ass south.
Okay.
Just double checking his movement speed. There we go. Alrighty. Singe, you're up next.
Can I see this spider at the ceiling?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to see something real fast. When is the spider's turn?
It is. Shoot, I got rid of the one that had the thing. Let me double check that. The spiders had rolled a 16 on their initiative, so they should have gone before K. I'm going to have them go now.
Okay. That's cool because if they're going first, I know what I want to do next.
Okay. So they're actually going to try to skitter away after hearing the call in undercommon from what's his nuts. And they have blind sight, so they know where they are in the darkness, which at this point is going to drop when he retreats then anyway. But because it's difficult terrain, it's going to be a total of 30 feet they can move. So there's one there. There's one, I'll say there. And that darkness is going to be gone. Oh, you know what? They're right. Boom and boom. One of them succeeds, one of them fails.
So one takes a full 20, one takes 10.
Oh, that's gonna be enough that kills the both of them anyway.
Okay.
They only have 3 hit points each piece. All right. So the guardian there, the last remaining drow elite charges down. Treverin, you know where he is, and you're able to track him. So just keep a note of that in case I forget. It is just about 10:30, so I think we're probably going to be done for the night, guys.
Julio?
And you're going to be out of this particular round of combat.
Alrighty.
Oof.
Get all the coin.
Oh yes, let me add that. So that pile of coin, you'd have to take time to collect if you're going to do that. It's up to you to decide next week if you're going to do that or chase down.
We're gonna do that. Yeah, Julie's gonna do that.
So the total of the hoard is 600 electrum, 2,000 silver, and 10,000 copper.
600 electrum, 2,000 silver, 10,000 copper.
Hey,
Correct.
Killy, just to be what you call it, just to check. What do you want a general perception roll to see if there's anything on the dead body of the drow that died, or anything else in this room?
Sure, if you want to go ahead and make a quick perception check.
Just so we can kind of get it out of the way, because I'm rolling to look and see if there's stuff there.
Sure. Okay. Of the 6 drow that you killed, each of them have about 8 gold apiece. So 48 gold total.
Okay.
Were they? How are they equipped?
They are equipped with. They have some crossbows and some short swords and some chain shirts.
Anything special about any of that?
Make a perception check.
Who?
Julie.
Kelly, I'm putting a
Mm.
mark on my head just to remind myself that I am tracking that guy.
That's fine.
That way I'll remember next week.
Sure. Nothing. The craftsmanship you're not familiar with, Julie. You've not really fought dark elves too much outside of on a few occasions. Nothing stands out about the craftsmanship or anything, and nothing stands out about the gear itself other than its strange make.
The crossbows, those are hand crossbows?
Yes,
And how many of them were there?
6 total.
I'm going to take the hand crossbows because those are saleable.
Okay.
Short swords are, yeah.
Sorry to evaporate your spiders. I'm
Sorry,
trying.
not sorry.
By the way, I'm trying to figure out how to play this class exactly, just so everybody's, kind of like if I fuck up with something, if I say, if I cast a spell or something like that, it seems like this class is very mixed between I can fuck some shit up and I can get in melee, but it's a choice between the two.
Yeah, that's a cleric.
But War Cleric
The
has some nasty shit that I can just drop on people from a distance and kind of make their life a living hell.
So one thing of your channel divinity that well, so you've been using the extra weapon attacks as bonus action. That's something that's part of just the War Priest bonus. You
Right.
haven't really been using the channel divinities themselves. One thing you do, which you'd have both the War God's blessing as well as guided strike.
Right, and that the guided strike is to actually hit a target, because I think it adds 10.
Plus adds a 10 to the roll. Yep.
And the only problem is I'm adding 10 with a Warhammer that I'm using with one hand that doesn't seem to do shit. So I'm working on that problem.
The other thing, level 6 was the War God's blessing, which you can use as a reaction. Yes, War Priest, the way it plays is very much, especially with the War Domain spells, is very much as a support, but not a healer, more of a just a buff person as well as control. Basically,
Right.
creating the line stops here sort of uh,
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well done with the drow guys. I'm sorry I wasn't much help, but that darkness is a bitch.
I hear you.
I never